It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, 'cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. And some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but someday we'll realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend with Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra.
Good morning, beautiful people. How is everybody doing this gorgeous Friday morning? It is Friday, March the 20th. Class is officially in session. We are starting now. Everybody good? Please get your coffee, Milo, tea, whatever your beverage of choice is. I'm not going to judge you this morning. It's a Friday after all. As we say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I got water. That, folks, is my beverage of choice this morning. Nice cold water. Let me see. Shaking it a little bit. Yep, I hear the ice in the water. All right, we got a lot to cover. What a crazy show yesterday. 4 hours of just madness. OMG. And we're going to recap. And we're going to clarify a few things and fix a few misconceptions about, what actually happened. So buckle up, because this is part 2 of yesterday's show. I'll fill you in if you missed it as well. But before we get to the absolute madness that is sometimes life in the Cayman Islands, I want to first talk about our schools. And we're actually going to call the minister. He's not coming on today, but he is traveling this morning. And so we're going to give him a quick little call and see what he's up to really quickly. But low key, I'm glad he's not here today. I don't know. He wouldn't have been able to hear all this stress. But we're going to have to get into it. Links are being updated now. I'm just doing that right now so that you can then, let me mute that tab because you'll be hearing that pinging all day long. all morning long, I should say, during the show. So let me just get these links sorted out. Remember, we're on YouTube. You just got to find the backup YouTube channel. We are there, folks. We're on Instagram. Good morning, Instagram folks. I see you. I see you, Benjamin. Mars, what is that? Marsicle, Grisella, Tevin, Janelle, Christopher, Carrie. These are the ones I can pronounce. Gray, Hurlston, Candy Crush. I see you. Good morning, Ashley. Soft breezes, soft sea breezes, even better. Yeah, nothing like the soft sea breezes, honey child. Love it. All right. So, let's talk about the school situation, because that one is very direct and to the point. I'm really disappointed in parents. This has got to be on you, right? So many of you would have seen the video of the bus driver and the teenager fighting. We don't know what precipitated that incident. But what I know of a lot of these kids, I'm sorry, but I'm here really thinking hard. I'm going to reserve any real comment until I see the full investigation, because he may have very well been defending himself. These children, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them are wilding out in these streets. They're wilding out on campus, and they're just completely out of control. Now, the only person or people I can ultimately blame for that has got to be the parents. Because here's the cold hard truth. Y'all want the cold hard truth? The reason why we have so much violence in our schools is because we have so much violence in our communities and in our homes. So these children don't seem to know any other way of resolving their feelings but to try and beat somebody up. And it's crazy. But that is exactly what is happening. How sad is that? So it's time that parents take control of this situation. You got to do better. Links have been sent out for the social media feeds, folks. Find us on YouTube. Find us on Instagram, cmrtv.com, Facebook, of course, and Bobo 103.1 FM, live and direct on radio. Thank you so much, Bobo. So parents, y'all need to step up, right? There's just too much fighting. And sometimes it's like people send me another video of another set of kids fighting again. And I it's like I get fatigued. I'm just like, ugh, another one? You know, I can see how people get not just fatigued, but you get desensitized to the violence because you're just like, wow, another fight video? Like, how many of them can you actually post? It's like the norm. And so we need to demand that the parents step up to the plate, that you guys, and here's the thing, right? To be fair to the parents, they themselves don't know any better. They grew up fighting and carrying on and beating each other up. And we're going to talk about violence here on this show with the other stories that we're updating from yesterday's show. All of them have a level of violence intertwined. And that is the problem. Society as a whole is just full of violence. And so our children grow up being exposed to violence. They constantly see violence in their homes, on TV, you know, just all over the place. And so it's almost like, well, what do you expect them to do? Of course, they're going to be engaging in it themselves. And how sad is that? Good morning, caller. Hello.
Morning, Miss Sandy.
Morning, dear.
Morning to your audience as well. A bit little sick here, but I actually hear the story and I saw the video with the bus driver and the little boy. I understand that the kids are rude, Miss Sandy, but I just need your help to understand this part. It really breaks my heart as a mother to see the bus driver put his hands on the child. In the video, it clearly states that this child wasn't swinging. He might have been disrespectful with his words. I understand. But I'm just very, concerned of the bus driver putting his hands on him. I mean, I know they're rude in a Sunday. I know they can be feisty and they can be quick with their tongue and they have insultive words. But I'm just concerned with the video of the bus driver being an adult that probably have kids older than that little boy putting his hands on him. Did it needed to go that far? Like, wasn't there another way as an adult that we can deal with them? You see what I'm saying? I know they get us angry,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have purposely not even watched the video because like I'm literally fatigued from seeing it. Like I can't I don't know how to explain it, but I'm sick and tired of the fight videos. Like I really am. Even this one, although this one is different because this involves an adult. And I agree with you. Absolutely. As adults, we're supposed to be able to keep our cool and we're supposed to have an upper hand on these situations. But that's the broader conversation here, is that it's not just the children that don't have control over their emotions and their psyche, right? It's everybody else. It's people in the community, the bus drivers who are fatigued and sick and tired of seeing, constant disrespect every single day. Absolutely. In a perfect world, which we don't live in, the bus driver will ultimately most likely be held accountable for how he reacted. But the bigger conversation here is, why is it that we have constant fighting with children in our schools? Because this isn't just a one-off situation. This isn't the first altercation, even with a bus driver. We see these children approaching bus drivers in a way that is just like crazy. I couldn't listen. I remember when I was in high school, this was in the States, I had a little incident with a guy named Mike, right? Where we ended up getting in a fight. And then he tried to retaliate on the bus. And his aunt, who happened to be the bus driver, she just sat there and did nothing. As a child, I don't know if it crossed my mind to box her or to cuss her out or whatever. But my aunt raised me in such a way. No, I'm serious. I'm sure I probably did. But I can tell you one thing, I didn't do it because I knew that whatever the situation was, I was going to go home and get more licks. And as Caymanians would say, a proper, you know what, begin with an A, right? From my aunt, had I done that. And here's the funny thing about it. Although I was relatively, in the circumstances, respectful, I can tell you that even the fact that I stood up to this bus driver, my aunt was like, oh, you should not have said anything to her. I'm like, I didn't even cuss the woman out. I just basically said, like, you gonna lose your job, something like that. And my aunt was like, no, you don't talk to adults. And I was like, what? I mean, low key, I think my aunt should have had my back, but this is how times have changed. We are now in a time where these children, they don't have no control. The parents can't control them. They make decisions because they don't have any fear of repercussions. Nobody not got no control over them. They're disrespectful to the police. They're disrespectful to their mama, their daddies, everybody.
Miss Sunday, as Caymanian.
I mean, I looked at the video real quick now, right? You see that even after people pulled them apart, who was the aggressor? Who was going after the man? The little boy?
The young man, the little school boy, yeah.
Yeah. So
He,
I don't
yeah,
know
but
what
Miss
precipitated.
Sandy, at this time he was irritated. I mean, if you watch the video, I not giving no right and wrongs to say blame somebody. I am just concerned at our
All
adults,
right.
Miss Sandy. We know these
Yes.
kids, but the adult in the
But
video
let
is just
me
my concern of
let
holding
me
his
say, but
own.
again, we don't know what came before that.
True, which is
We're
so true.
assuming that he
Yeah,
hadn't put hands on him before that, but we don't even know that to be the truth. So
true.
that is why
So
we
true.
need to wait
To get the
for, yes, for the
and more
RCIPS
videos,
to
yeah.
and carry out their proper investigation. Hopefully these schools got cameras because boy, they need them.
Yeah, they
I
do.
can tell
They
you
do.
that,
They do.
right?
But
So
one of the
it's
things
just really sad.
one of the things you're saying is true, Miss Sandy. I remember going to school and on the bus, and I gotta tell you about a bus driver, Mr. Barnes. Everybody know Mr. Barnes. You fight on Mr. Barnes' bus, you disrespect Mr. Barnes, he don't need put hands on you. He was very stern about what he said and what he meant. You don't ride on his bus. Your parent, your granny, your grandfather could have been his best friend. He do not care. You cannot come on his bus if you don't got no manners. And me, myself, encounter with Mr. Barnes, because one day I just felt like I wanted to be rowdy. And I felt like I could give him my mouth, and he made me walk. He sure did make me walk. And instead of me being disrespectful to Mr. Barnes, I respected Mr. Barnes because of how he treated me for me being rude and know that he wasn't going to accept it. We don't have that today, Miss Sandy. Us as Kimanian people got this belief that we want to give these children what we didn't have. When we had to work our butts off to get it, we had to do chores, we had to do this, we had to be respectful in the street. Back in the day, you get a beating from the neighbor, mama come home, daddy come home. Those are other beating. No, it's abuse, Miss Sunday. No,
Yeah,
mom coming
and let
fear.
me
No, this coming fear.
let me
It
be
is hard.
very clear here, right? Because I think that this is important. I think most people would know that I'm not an advocate of corporal punishment with children. I don't think you have to put your hands on children to discipline them
True.
and to make a
I
point.
agree.
Because that in and of itself is part of our problem. We have
Yes.
raised our children to accept violence at all levels
As
and in
normal.
all forms. Yes.
That it's normal.
Like if you can't even discipline your child without beating them, what does that say to the child? That violence is an integral part of our lives.
And I agree with you, Miss Sandy, because growing up, I had a reputation of being angry too because of the home I came from. But guess what? Everybody encounter my children. When they tell them who their mother are, they're like, no way. That your mama, even teachers in the school could not believe it because what you saw growing up was this ignorant child that was always fighting and, involved in things. But Miss Sandy, I learned that who I am, my children cannot be. They just cannot be it. I have to die first. They have to
now
good,
that is
upstanding
what I
human
want
beings.
to hear, girl. That
Yes,
is what I want to
no.
hear because
I got
we
4
can
of
break
them
the
and they have
cycle.
to have manners.
Yeah,
They
we
have
can
to
break
have
the
manners, Miss
cycle.
Sandy. Yes, where we come from, where we come from, not got nothing to do with it. That's just the beginning, a taste of our life. Where we coming from should guide us where we don't want to go and who we don't want to become. And the same our children. And I am highly upset because Cayman is having too much of these videos, like you said, with these fighting, and it really hurts my heart to see that an adult has to react in that way with a child. It really hurts my heart because I got children too. But the difference is we have to raise these children.
Listen, these children are assaulting each other. They're causing head injuries, swollen eyes. It's just crazy what is happening in our schools, around our schools, in our homes. These children, quite frankly, out of control. And I think we need some kind of collective reset as a community. And I think where it really starts is we've got to start to have a conversation and seminars and training on how to handle conflict. That is what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Right? Teaching children that you can get upset. Everybody gets upset. We're all human beings.
Yeah.
And heck, you can use your words. I'm a proponent on cussing somebody out when you're ready. Yeah. But what you can't do is you can't feel like you can just put your hands on people. That's when you, as them young people say, you gone too far, Biggs. Exactly. That's when you've gone too far.
Exactly. And I am proud to say, Miss Sandy, I had a child that has little trouble in school. I got 4 of them in it, but only one. And that's a little preemie. He born premature. So of course he'll have his little acting up. And Cayman did not have the schools and type of teachers to deal with him. What was said that because of how I raised him, what the brain specialist explained to me, because of how I raised him, he was raised normal. So his disability is not visible to the naked eye, but he have them. So when we see him being defiant and doing these things, it's a part of the disability. But I can tell you this, Miss Sandy, ask any of them teachers, I tell them, don't take the time to try to punish or argue with that child. Just pick the phone up. Call me as his mother. And I bet you when you put him on that phone, you will have the best lesson to teach after I speak. I don't have to come up there. And I made sure of that. And all the teachers did. He's in English class, being a fool. She picked up that phone and she called me and I said, Miss, can you please put him on the phone? And when he came on the phone, I said, boy, look here, put it together or get it together. You don't want me up there because this embarrassment you don't want. You got to live with that for the rest of your life in high school. And trust me, I will bring it. Because guess what? That teacher that giving that 8 hours or however hours to teach you, I can't do it. I got to go out there to make bread so that we can survive on the next side of this. But you got to be up in that school to get the education to come out make your own bread to survive on your own. So if you are disrespect that teacher, that means me as a parent, you are disrespect too. Because she teach you something. It's an hour, 2 hours to sit your butt down, sit down and get it in. Because at home, I don't roll like that. I not got 2 words for you more than a clap on your behind because I want to need. You see what I'm saying?
But you're coming back to my point now that I telling you, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We not got clap them. We don't have.
I know.
We don't have to clap them. If you have an event, hear me have an event. If you have a child, I was about to send one message about an event. If you have a child, and from day one you have not learned how to deal with that child without violence.
Mess.
That's a problem.
That's a mess.
Yeah.
That's a total mess.
Yeah. That's a problem.
Miss Sandy, you're right about parenting. I don't want to judge all parents, but you're right. There's an incident, and I come to your attention yet, and I just want to be brief on it. There's an incident going on in the school, right? With these young ladies threatening. It gone far, but long story short, right? You know that these children are using the factor that a parent is of a certain standard and caliber in the community. So if you mess with them, they already know this parent coming for you. Now, when you raise your children like that, I want Cayman people to be aware that it's not everybody that afraid of your mama and your dad is raise decent children.
Yes, girl.
To pick on them. And on a mom and on a dad, they have to do what they have to do because I go and do what I have to do for mine. And that's just the ground. The parent was called several times. She was phoned. They called this one. They called that parent. None of the parent would get involved. But the minute one parent went on the compound and made herself known that if I'm going to touch my child, this is what I go down. This is what parents want to call now and come and meet up and talk. Parents are ridiculous these days. They're living their life in barroom, nightclub, running down Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then leave the children to the broader world. Okay? When it hit the fan now, we come, we didn't know this. You didn't want to know. You didn't want to know because the outstanding parent was reaching out to you before it escalated. And then I didn't want to answer on the phones. Enough is enough. And until these parents are held accountable for the bongarang that they raise, then we will get a control. Because I don't blame all parents, because you got some little saints at home and then the little demons in the street. So that's applying to the parent. But I'm just saying, as parent, just like how man, our business, money, our business, and people business is more our business. We should what our children doing in school and in the street, our business. You think I want to sit down and hear people talking about my 12-year-old daughter is a sketel? Come on now, 12? 12, Miss Sandy? 12-year-old? And you're referring to her as a sketel? You got these little children in high school, they got more man conversation than me and you that been on this earth for how many years? Where it coming from?
Mm-hmm.
When Miss Sandy, I gotta tell you, I moved away. And where I live, I got 1 and 2 visitors come to my house, right? This is what, the first time the lady came, she observed, everything was nice. The second time she said, I'm sorry, I can't hold it in. Are your kids okay? And I said, yes, they are. Why you ask? She said, because every time I come, I notice that they leave and go to their room. I said, I come from the Caribbean. Children know business in adults' affair, and my children know when adults come, want to do, find in a space, go up in a room, go find a book, go read. I still implement that. 26, I believe in that. My son is 22 years old, and as an adult, if an adult come to me, he say, "Mommy, want me to stay or I need to go?"
Yeah, because not every conversation is for them. Yeah,
and he's 22, Miss Sunday.
Yeah,
I can only pat myself on my back for that. I don't need a crowd. I can pat myself on my back to know that I move away to such a different country, and that is observed. That is what is observed. I didn't have to row and shout and scream and say, "Get from here!" No, ma'am. They already know, and this was implemented from small, from they were young.
Yeah. Well, this is, but caller, this is my point now, right? Just like you could from when they were young get them to do this specific thing. My point is this to all parents: you have to start young with your children, and you can mold them. But I guess, if we're expecting that of parents who don't have the skills themselves, because like you say, if a parent can roll up in a classroom and basically threaten a teacher, but if you do this to my child, blah blah blah, how can we expect any different?
No,
how can we expect that same parent to be teaching their children right from wrong in a sensible way? Because apparently that parent only knows violence as a way to resolve any issues.
Miss Son, if I'm being honest to you, every one of them down in Cayman, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, they just want to know violence. I come out from the ghetto, and there's no way my children can ever come in a ghetto. My children can't even speak in a slang that makes it funny for me. Speak proper English. Proper English. Listen to me. We use these things and use them as excuse. And then they not cute. So it can be an excuse. Because no matter where I come from, who I family to, what I'm about, when you meet my children and my children tell you I'm their mother, you would be shocked out of your wits. Because nobody believe I can raise good, outstanding children because of the way I come from, because of the lifestyle that I come up in. That was the judgment towards me. That's the statistic that our country put on us as a people, and it weigh us down. We need to fight against the odds. Remember, these are little human beings coming to represent you, look up to you, want you as their confident and their comfort. How could you feel them by giving them violence to come a wowler like you? You would have done a wowler. You reign as a wowler. Why would I want a new wowler in my life? Like a wowler, everything come after me decent. We need to start coming with collective thoughts, man. This ignorance and one better than that one, and they don't know who I found. That culture need to die. It need to die. That's the first thing that needs to die for us to get proper hold onto the children. Come together as a community. If I pick up my phone and I call you and Miss Sandy, your daughter did this, that can we meet up and talk about it, because my daughter is involved as well. You see what I'm saying? And Miss Sandy meet up with me and our children meet up. They can come to an understanding. Anything happen after that, we have all rights to discipline those children, because as parents, we got together and we spoke about it. And so now it is our job as parents to discipline them. And now when we get Miss Sunday, we're not getting that down there. And that's why the children, the parents, them don't want no better for the children. That's why they like that.
Well, I'm gonna give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, and say that a lot of them, like I said, because of this repetitive cycle of dysfunction and chaos that we have in our families, I'm going to say that most of these children, most of the parents don't know any better. They having children when they're not equipped to have them, when they don't have any life skills, they don't have the tools, nothing. We need to have more parenting courses. We need to have more conflict resolution courses. Look here, we live in a community where we've had MPs almost come to blow in Parliament, and at times it happened behind in the lunchroom, all kind of stuff, not necessarily on camera. So you know what I'm saying? We have a whole society of dysfunctionality. And the schools are supposed to be there for learning. Every single time that the education ministry and department have to take time away to focus on this type of foolishness, that means that that's less time that they're focusing on policy. That's less time that they're focusing on the curriculum, that they're focusing on the budget and scholarships and other things that are that's actually going to benefit our children.
But Miss Sandy, I don't know, right? But can I say that there's a program? Because like what you said is so true. I was a young mother too. At the time, my mama fell ill, so I didn't have that mommy around me, but I did have the phone calls with her. But what was it? It was a resource building. It was there by Compass, run by the government. And they held meetings and stuff. I went. I also went to Miss Joyce Hilton building the Young Parents Program, which is now taking place. I don't think it exists anymore for young parents.
Well, we still trying to figure out if that exists. I mean, some people said yes, but I don't even know, child.
That was it was a good program too. It was a good helping hand and stuff like that. I mean, people would say, "Oh, it encouraged them to go breed it." Not really. I went when I was 19. I left school 2 years ago, and I fell pregnant, and I just wanted to do with my life. I knew nothing about parenting, and I just wanted to learn. And I went to the Young Parents Program, and how with me. I mean, I had my babies with them. I had my attitudes as young people do, but I am happy for that program because it set me straight. It made me know what I wanted to give to my child that I can get from myself. So yeah, you're right. The resources, the help, we do need it. We need to implement stuff in places.
All right. Leave me there. People appreciated your comments, but we have another caller who's been trying to get through as well. Thank you, my dear.
Have a good day,
You too.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, caller, good morning and welcome to the program.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. First two calls from the UK today.
Yes, I'm not shouting this morning.
Oh, bless your little heart.
On that line, I want you to give her 6 big kaboom for me. Because some of the parents, the teacher don't even know the parents. They don't have no telephone number of the parents, if anything happened to the child in school. I have to stay here once and call a teacher and explain certain things to them. And they were very professional to me. And I see they take interest in what I explained to them. So you give that lady a big kaboom for me. Give her 6, because I know what I'm talking about. Some of the parents, some of me, shouldn't even have kids. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, my dear. So I'm playing it for the first time here. And what I do know is that the department and the ministry are taking this very, very seriously. And they are investigating this incident. And naturally, we want to ensure that we have all the details of the investigation. I hope that we here at the very minimum on CMR will be able to get the full details to report back to you on exactly what transpired. Because it is sad. It is sad to see that this has happened at all on school property. And like I said, this is where the video starts, but we don't see what came before this. And I think that it is important for full context that we know exactly why, because the stance that this man is, both of them, quite frankly, is already in, kind of gives me a sense that there was probably already hands laid. So I can't jump to a conclusion that what we see next is the very first blow. The first blow might have already happened because they look like they're in a fighting stance already. So let's allow the authorities to carry out their proper investigations and revert to us, get back to us on this. And, I am confident, because they know all eyes are watching, that whatever has gone on here, the appropriate investigation will be released to the public as it should be. And then we can, take it from there. So Irvelyn says that she heard the boy was vaping and he told him to get off the bus. I mean, I guess we'll hear all of the bits and pieces of the story. But what I do know as a collective thought is that our children are out of control. It's just different. They don't have no respect for nobody. It is shocking, really, right? Sia says, but some of these kids need to have hands put on them because they've gotten the belt at home. This is why they're so rude today, and they never had proper discipline because they've not gotten the belt at home. My apologies. Let me reread that again. And once again, I don't agree with you, Sia. I don't think somebody needs to get a belt put on them to have respect, manners, and behavior, as Caymanians would say, right? You do realize that there's a lot of people who never got beat, and some of the most upstanding people in the world. It doesn't take a beating to teach you that's the loop thinking that we have in our heads. And what I know is violence begets violence, right? Violence and children. You ever seen a young child? And children go through different phases. They go through like a biting phase where they think that they can just bite everybody and bite everything, right? They go through different phases. But when you see children hitting and punching, that kind of, they see that behavior somewhere. They're learning it. That is learnt behavior. It's not inherent that a child is going to just be violent. They're being exposed to that. And so that's how they react at the very youngest of age. Some of y'all allow your children to sit down and watch all sorts of adult content, all sorts of stuff on TV with profanity and more violence and stuff again. What do you think is happening to their little brains? They're absorbing it all. Think about the power of observation, right? I remember when my daughter, she couldn't even speak yet. So, hadn't even said her first words, nothing. But from the youngest little thing, when I used to sit and feed her, when she started to, she could sit up and she was getting food. So 6 months? They normally start to eat a little something. I can't remember now, to be honest. 6 months, maybe? Baby food and stuff. We would sit there and have on for her. This lady, her name is Patty Shula or something her name is, but she does sign language, right? Sign language for babies. And she would be sitting there and she would sing. She taught you sign language by singing. Patty Shula, I can't remember her name now, but anyway. And I tell you not a word of lie, in no time straight, my daughter was using sign language, no language skills. So she's just looking, fully observing and understanding what was going on, knowing what she wanted, and could sign that she wanted milk, she wanted water, she wanted a bath. She learned we didn't continue it, but she had a good 10, 15 words in her vocabulary as a nonverbal child, like she wasn't speaking yet. So she didn't have command of the English language, but her brain knew what a bath meant. And when she was ready for a bath, when she wanted milk, right? She could symbol. When she wanted mom, dad, she knew all of these sign language words. The point that I'm making is that children are taking it in. They're taking in their environment. So if they see mama and daddy, like the CBC case we can come back to again, right? Fighting and cussing at each other and mama trying to stab up daddy and this, that, and the next thing. What do you think them children gonna do? They're going to emulate that exact same behavior. And if my daughter can pick up a few words in sign language over just a couple months, imagine what is happening to the human brain, the young, impressionable brain, after years of nothing but yelling, screaming, cussing, fighting, siblings in the homes fighting each other, because that, again, is all they know. We have a really deep problem here. And the easy solution is to blame the bus driver and just fire him. The harder solution is for us to admit our role as parents, as community leaders, as aunts and uncles in all of this, to say, what have I done to either further the violence in my community, or what have I done to change the narrative? As that parent said, she was dragged up, right? In a particular environment. She knows what it's like to grow up in chaos. And she decided at some point in her life that that was not going to be the same repetitive story for her children. Every one of us has an obligation to break the cycle of abuse, of violence, of ignorance. And trust me, it ain't easy. Nobody's out here telling you, well, that's really easy to do. You know, you just read one self-help book and you're good to go. Really. But what we know is that what are the adverse childhood oh Lord, the adverse childhood of incidents, that's not the right word. It's called adverse childhood experiences. They're called ACEs, right? I know I've talked about this before, but the evidence shows unequivocally that when a child has more than really 2 or 3 adverse childhood experiences, they're called ACEs, which are potentially traumatic and chronically stressful events that happen between the age of birth and age 17. They have such a powerful effect on health and behavior across a person's life. Okay? So I am here with you. We all are in this struggle together because unfortunately, a lot of us are growing up with a lot of ACEs. And in this context, an ACE is not a good thing. Adverse childhood experiences. If you are a parent this morning, or you're not even a parent yet, say you're pregnant, you're thinking about get pregnant, you need to go and look this up. Read up on what these are. Because an ACE can be both an acute traumatic experience as well as ongoing adversities in a child's environment that undermines their safety, stability, nurturing relationships, and it's going to impact them forever. Physical and emotional or sexual abuse, physical, emotional neglect. So you might not even get to as far as abuse, but just neglecting children. Number 3 on the list, this is where I want y'all to pay close attention to me now. Witnessing violence at home or in the community. Folks, I'm going to say it one more time because I don't believe that those of you in the back of the classroom heard what I just said. When we talk about adverse childhood experiences, the top number 2, right? So it's not just experiencing violence, abuse, or neglect. The next one is actually witnessing it. So even if a child does not directly experience it themselves, in other words, you never put your hand on the child, you don't abuse them, right? The violence isn't directed at them. All they have to do is witness the violence, both in the home and in their communities. So if they're growing up in certain types of neighborhoods where they see violence that is normalized, that has a significant impact on your child, what they will become and who they will become. It will manifest itself. Now, here is the stark reality of it. 61% of adults have had at least one ACE. That's a pretty big number. 61%. 16% have had 4 or more. Here's something else that you might find shocking, but this is the God's honest truth. Females and several groups who identify as racial or ethnic minorities, AKA brown people, people of color, right, are at greater risk for experiencing 4 or more. So that's 16% that have 4 or more. The vast majority of them are going to be looking just like me and you. So you got to understand the context of what that means. And there's a long history of why that might be. And I can tell you one thing. I want y'all to look carefully at the historical history of things like slavery, how we have accepted slavery into our own homes, how we have accepted corporal punishment into our own homes and we have normalized it as a means of trying to discipline our own children. And yet the truth of the matter is we're destroying children more than we are helping them. I need y'all to think a little bit deeper some mornings, It's not just every morning that we can be talking about pure sus. Some mornings, yes. And we can get to the sus. Don't worry your little heads now. So a lot of people don't realize that exposure to these ACEs, as they're called, is associated with increased risk for health problems across your lifespan. So it's not just behavioral problems, right? But even your physical health. Your physical health is impacted by these ACEs. Isn't that wild? But it's true. So if you're Black, Hispanic / Latino, we all in the same boat. Sorry for you Latinos who think you're Latinos be like, oh, look here, papi. I don't really, they're a little bit browner than me, so they're different. Nope. Multiracial people. Yeah, unfortunately, you in the same mix. High instance of ACEs across those ethnicities. People with less than a high school education also have a high instance of ACEs because education does matter. I know y'all think, well, that little piece of paper signed it, that don't mean nothing to me. Well, in the real world, it will equip you with skills. So the fact that you have less than a high school education puts you at higher risk. Yeah. People making less than $15,000 per year. So the lower your income is, the more ACEs you're going to have. All right. Unemployed or unstable work. And unfortunately, people who are in the LGBTQ plus community also tend to have experienced a significantly higher number of ACEs. So what sort of physical conditions can you expect from someone who has 4 or more, or even 2 or more? Depression, asthma, cancers, diabetes in childhood. Now I know you're thinking that I'm crazy. How can diabetes come from having a traumatic childhood? I'm telling you. Risky behavior, smoking, heavy drinking. So the good news is if you can prevent the ACEs, you can improve educational outcomes, you can improve job potential, you can reduce risky behavior like smoking and heavy drinking, you can lower physical conditions like depression, asthma, cancer, diabetes in childhood. And so, I'm sitting here telling you guys about it. I don't know how many of you have ever heard about these adverse childhood effects before, but if you haven't, that now is where I say, well, maybe the system needs to do better. We need to have more discussions around this type of thing. And everybody has to come on board. So maybe the education ministry can do some classes for adults. They can have a part in this. UCCI can do some classes. ICCI, right? Churches, instead of y'all walking around with your credit card machine, constantly begging people for money at every single church session, maybe you need to talk about some life skills, right? Have parenting classes in churches. Teach people about these negative outcomes, but also how they can have the opposite of an ACE and they can have some positive outcomes to have a less toxic life. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? We have DCFS and these other agencies. They say that they have classes, but I don't know because, they need to do a better job advertising them, perhaps. I'm going to put a graph up here and I'll show you how important these ACEs are to your life, because it's no joke when you're talking about chronic illnesses and diseases creeping into your life because of it. Coronary heart disease, strokes, asthma, COPD, cancer, kidney disease, diabetes, obesity, smoking, heavy drinking, alcoholism, substance abuse, physical inactivity, risky sexual behavior, lack of health insurance. So these are some of the social outcomes. Unemployment, less than high school diploma or equivalent education, mental health conditions, including depression, suicide, or attempted suicide. So this is what the research has shown, that ACEs can increase your risk of poor social outcomes, disease, and death. Why are we not talking about this? Why are we not addressing this? Huh? That's my question. And I'm serious. We should be. So every time we have an incident like this, right, where we talk about, okay, there's another fight video and we're looking to place blame, because that's, yes, we're looking to place blame. Whose fault? Who's at fault? Maybe this presents an opportunity for us to address some deeper issues in our community. The higher your ACE score is in life, before you turn, the age of 18, I can tell you that you're going to have some very, very negative outcomes. But there are things that we can do to counter the ACEs even, and to improve them, strong protective factors that can buffer the impact of early adversity. So even if a child early on has these situations in their life, those environments, those homes, you can turn it around. And this is the important message here, right? You can create stable and nurturing relationships. And even if you have one adult that demonstrates to that child that somebody cares for them, that there is a safe place out there for them, you can potentially change the outcome for that individual. They need to know that the place that we call home and our houses, safe, predictable, both home and school environments, that they have access to mental health support, community conditions. And this is where I want to come back. So yes, let's talk about the parents. Let's talk about the family, because those are microcosms of the bigger community. But the community needs to accept. We just lost a young man's life the other day, a couple weeks back, due to stabbing. At his funeral, police were out there with the police van, I understand, in full force. That is where we have gotten as a community, where we go to bury our young people that have died as a result of violence. And even at their funeral, there is obviously another risk of violence occurring. Yeah, because the police have to have two vans there and armed guards and all kind of foolishness. Like, what on earth? What kind of world are we living in? That this is where a little island with a population of less than 100,000 people have come to. Seriously. It's pure madness. So get it together, folks. We all have a collective responsibility to try to reduce violence, poverty, and social isolation in this country. Because of the size of the country, we should be able to do it. And we have to take a very, very aggressive approach to this, because slowly but surely, this isn't going to be a one-off incident. This is going to become the norm. And we look at other Caribbean islands where we see this all the time. Teachers in fear of their lives. Bus drivers are in fear of their lives, right? It's all sort of, it's crazy. They're stabbing each other, they're killing each other, they're shooting each other, all this kind of thing. We need to get it together. That's all I'm going to say on this for now. And we'll wait for the investigation to bear fruit. Hermes says equip school buses with internal cameras. Well, I hope to God they're doing that, because every single bus, whether it's a school bus, a public bus, whatever public transportation we have, they should all have school bus cameras, both inside and out. Greg says children are born as a blank slate, and everything they learn as they grow is learned behavior. The first 5 years are especially important, as this is when they develop good behavior, manners, and positive habits. And, I hear the minister get on here talking about the early childhood program, right? Which is really important to getting them on the right track academically. But the most important part, in my humble opinion, of the early childhood program is not about them learning no ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and knowing how to read. Like, we focus on academic performance. What we need to do is we need to focus on raising and instilling in children at a very young age how they are part of a community, this microcosm that, you know, they're important and we love them and we care about them, and how to be kind to each other, how to be helpful to each other. Adopt the Japanese model where the children come in, they have discipline for a very young age. Everybody's in the same mindset. They know where to put their little shoes, right? They help clean up the classroom. If they see garbage on the floor, they're picking it up. Their culture is so different. Their streets, when you walk on a street, I haven't had the personal opportunity to walk on a street of Japan yet. It's on my bucket list, but I will. But when you walk on the streets, you could almost eat off the public sidewalk because they keep things clean. They don't see a piece of garbage on the ground and walk past it. They pick it up and they put it in the garbage bin. But that starts from early childhood discipline. And that is what we need, not just focusing on academics. We need a program, and I wish somebody would do a pilot program where we take those kids in the early childhood program and we start to, okay, every single day, kids, we're going to come in, we're going to do this, we're going to do, and look at how quickly those habits would develop. So I agree with you, Greg. There's no two ways about it. The evidence is there from other cultures and other societies. It's just that we as Caribbean people, what we pick it up, not the right things. We pick up all the wrong things, all the wrong behaviors. Even from elsewhere, what we want to bring into this island is pure slackness. And we're going to get to some of that slackness this morning because we need to address it. Trisha says that's what conversations need to look like for kids and parents. Pack your bag at night, iron your uniform, shine your shoes. It goes back to just that minute reflection. So no surprise for behaviors. Sylvester, good morning. Says Cayman may need to establish safety measures by installing security checkpoints to avoid future school shootings and school crimes. The situation should be treated as though as a prison security checkpoint. I mean, isn't that sad, Sylvester? That our children are going to feel like they're in prison, you know, and that's the solution, to increase security and make them feel like, well, this is what, when you go to Northwood Prison, you're getting used to it from now. How about we try to do the opposite of that? I mean, I understand what you're saying because of the violence, right? You can't let the violence go unchecked and you have to have some degree of security in place. But if we started young enough, I think we could turn that narrative around so that when they get to high school, nobody feels like they need it to be or feel like a prison checkpoint. Trisha says, I blame Cayman Education Services too. What school in the Caribbean of the majority doesn't stick to the traditional school code? Hairstyle, boys, girls, length, skirts, no pants, tight shoes, pride of it. But all of that is here in the schools, Trisha. Where have you been? They have those rules in the schools. Now, whether or not every child adheres to it, because once again, now we go back to the parents. Little Johnny don't want to cut his hair because he think it's cute to have dreadlocks and locked hair and long hair and unkept hair and whatever. And then the parents can come in fighting for their constitutional right to wear my hair how I want. I mean, it's just shocking. I went to schools that didn't have uniforms. And I often wish that we had, because then that would take the guesswork out of what I had to wear. You know, and every August before we went back to school, I remember my aunt, we'd go school shopping, right? You got your new shoes. Normally you got like 1 or 2 pairs of like daily shoes. You got your little tennis shoes for your PE class and whatever. You got clothing. But there was really strict conditions on what I could wear to school. You think these short skirts were a thing? Huh? Cut up jeans, cut off jeans, baggy jeans, and all this kind of foolishness. You couldn't wear any of that stuff. Even my nails. Aunt Lottie was looking at how long those nails were going, cut those nails. And I have to do the same thing with my daughter because she seems to have a propensity to like long nails. And every time I see him going, I said, hand me your finger. She be fighting me. No, mommy. I said, look here. But you be cut my fingers. I said, that's okay. As I continue to cut your nails, I'll get better at not actually cutting your fingers. So let's get some practice in. You have to be consistent. Because yes, they're little people. They're going to want to do, you can't control everything that they're influenced by. So they do see certain things. And I'll be honest with you, it's one of the reasons why I myself, I've never really been a person to be all up into all these fake nails and stuff like that anyway. But I purposely now, even when I could grow out my nails, I had them growing out the other day and I took and cut them all down. You know, the first thing when she saw me, oh, Mom, you cut your nails. Why? She asked me why I cut my nails. I said, well, actually shorter nails are, it's a cleanliness thing. So do you know that under those nail beds, you get a lot of germs? And when they're longer, I break it down. When she asked me why, I don't get offended. I explain it to her. And I said, also, it allows me to work more efficiently. She's like, you can't work more efficiently with short. I said, yes, I can. Because I'm typing, I'm doing a lot of work, and the nails get in the way. So listen, yeah, we grew up in an environment where parents are like, you don't talk back, you don't ask no questions, you just do as I say. We can take a gentler approach. I'm not a proponent of that. But when your children ask you questions, you have to be prepared to give them sensible answers. As Greg says, children learn from what they see. So sometimes even as adults, we have to adjust and change our behavior so that our children can see a better example. Mr. Amelia says children learn what they see. Parents sit in front of their children, they smoke, they drink, they cuss, they fight, and that's what they learn. 1,000%. That's exactly what they learn. And so that's why I started out this conversation saying to parents, I'm putting a lot of the blame at your footsteps. You guys need to do better. It starts in the homes. The schools only have so much time in the day to try and teach your children like the academic side of it. Now they must take up the parenting role as well. Come on. I'm just saying. All right, that caller. Lots of people calling for that caller to get a kaboom. Shaka says conflict resolution training must be a part of their education. Been saying it for years, starting with the home front to the kindergarten, right on to the school system. Absolutely. And even our teachers need to be learning it as well, right? So yeah, Grace says the student punched the driver in his mouth. Like I said, I don't know what precipitated this. Samantha says the radio's chipping out today. Girl, I don't know what's going on with the radio. All right, let's move on. My apologies. I really don't know what's going on with the radio. It seems like there's some sort of connection issues. Raymond Barnes in the house. Hey, cuz. He says he made me walk too. Speaking about that would be your uncle. Which uncle that would have been? Rene. I think they all kind of did buses at one time. We had Uncle Rene that would have been a bus driver. Even Raymond's dad, Mr. Raymond, you guys would probably know him as. He's my uncle as well. He also was a bus driver, Our grandfather started the first school bus system in Cayman, just as an FYI. But Raymond says he made me walk too, and I didn't do anything, and that was my uncle. So yeah, they didn't mess around. Now, if you dare to make a child walk, the parents can run up in education. My child missed the bus and this and that, and oh my God. It's like, really, parents? Y'all the biggest part of the problem. Michael LeMay, hey, how you doing, honey child? He says, no structure. Blissful British says facts. Mr. Amelia says kaboom. Miss Sue says, I love my long nails. Yeah, beautiful too, girl. The struggle is real. I'm trying to teach her she don't need no long nails. Pat says, can we invest in ourselves, our families, and our community? Take a conflict resolution class. Yes. Hello. Absolutely. We can help ourselves. I'm going to be the first to say, government don't have to do everything for you. There's lots of things online now. Y'all can go and subscribe to all sorts of things. I actually saw a video the other day, and I was going to share it with you guys. I've been meaning to share it with you about how to respond to a child, like young children hitting you. And I thought it was such a good video. Maybe this is a good opportunity. Let me see if I can find it, child. I'd be downloading so much stuff. But the point here is that there's amazing videos and courses and stuff online where you can learn so much of this on your own. Instead of y'all sitting down there looking at this foolishness on TikTok, find, parenting courses on TikTok, find teaching courses on TikTok, conflict resolution. There's that type of content that is also there. You don't have to be listening to pure foolishness and bangarang and mix up all the time. I mean, I get it. Everybody likes a little sus. We got you covered. Yeah. But that does not have to be all that you listen to. You can also listen to educational programs. You can also listen to how to discipline children. What works, what doesn't work. All these things can be learned. I'm trying to see if I can find this this video to show you guys. It was actually quite a good one, I must say. When I find it, I'll share it. But yeah, so we got to do better. Do better. If you know better, do better. But I'll admit, some of y'all don't know better, and that's a problem. Anyway, when I find the video, I'll post it up on social media because, again, I think it's something that we could probably all learn from. All right, let's rewind to yesterday's program. It kind of kicked off, and we definitely took it up a notch. And there's a couple things that I want to say. Let's start with Michelle first, the Filipina young lady who called into the program. Because there are a couple, sometimes after a show, naturally I have to reflect on what transpired and let my thoughts kind of settle with the type of show that we had and what happened. And yesterday was hot, I'll admit. But what I find astonishing is I think it is very, very interesting that you could have someone, and listen, I'm a firm believer in freedom of speech. I think everyone in this community, you can call into this program as long as you are respectful. I don't have any problems with you calling in and sharing your thoughts, having commentary. But I also know that some people have really lost the plot a little bit, right? And I had to go back and I had someone extract the video for me this morning because we're going to replay the phone call and the things that this young lady called in and said to me. Oh, here we go. This is the video. Hold on. I just found it. Hold on. So look at this little training video. And the point that I'm making here is that so many of you can subscribe. Oh, Irvelyn said it's time for squats. Lord have mercy. Yes, let's get up and do our squats because this is the discipline now that we're going to have during the morning show. For every hour that we're standing, you know what I got to start doing, Irvelyn? I got to stop sitting down during the show. I can go back to standing because for years on this program, I wasn't sitting, I was standing during the show. But then when my knees started to give me problems and stuff like that, but I'm going to raise my standing desk and go back to standing up. But anyhow, no excuses. Let's go ahead and while we're watching this video, let's see how many squats that we can get in, okay? So just for the benefit of our radio listeners, basically what you had happen was this little baby hit her mother as she was holding her.
When a child hits you and you keep holding them and say nothing, you didn't teach patience. You taught permission. Children are not born knowing right from wrong. They're trained into it. And what you allow without correction becomes what you repeat without hesitation. So here's what to do. You stop the hand, you look them in the eye, and you say, we don't hit. Not angry, not emotional, not a lecture. Because this is not about learning. This is about installing boundaries. The child does not discover discipline. The leader installs it.
Wow. Can we just rewind and listen to that one more time? Let's back it up. Back it up. We got to hear that again.
And you keep holding them and say nothing. You didn't teach patience. You taught permission. Children are not born knowing right from wrong. They're trained into it. And what you allow without correction becomes what you repeat without hesitation. So here's what to do. You stop the hand, you look them in the eye, and you say, we don't hit. Not angry, not emotional, not a lecture. Because this is not about learning. This is about installing boundaries. The child does not discover discipline. The leader installs it.
All right, folks, I did 30. I did my 30 squats. All right. So isn't that amazing, though? Anthony said no squats for me. He's listening and raking the yard. Well, that's physical activity. You're only doing the squats if you've been sitting down. So good, good, good. All right. Thank you so much. Whew. Let me check my little heart rate. I had to reset my Apple Watch because I don't know. This is always losing connection. Let me see. Where's the heart rate monitor? Oh Lord, I don't even know where to find it. Anyway, let's get to it. Oh, yes. Look here now. Yesterday, this young lady, let's put it back in the proper context. Someone says, oh, I've been forgetting the messages that are coming in on WhatsApp. My apologies. Hold on. Let's go back. Read a few of these, and then we're going to get into Michelle. Michelle or Melissa? Well, her name is Michelle. Good morning, Auntie. Some of these children, especially high schoolers, are some of the most difficult and disrespectful expletives. That bus driver is old school and wasn't having it. Working within the schools, I've seen it all. Kaboom for the caller. Another person says, good morning, Sandy. When someone sees a child or children doing wrong/bad, and speak to their parents, the parents wants to cuss the person out or tell them, mind your own business. I told my children, if a report comes to me, I will believe unless you can prove differently. But most of the parents worse than the children. Absolutely. It's unfortunate, but that is true. Let me get a few more here. 1 second. So this one came in. It says, morning. Family Resource Center has parenting classes. I take them once per week as a matter of improving my knowledge, self-growth, and self-improvement. They also offer virtual sessions. Who does Family Resource Center fall under? Which ministry is that? Because I think they need to advertise these classes better. They go on to say, which my self-improvement and growth can only benefit my children. And I'm not one of these parents who believe in corporal punishment like that. Agreed, they need better advertising. But if you go on their website, it's all there. I exercise by listening to you. Good job. Good job. All right. Let me see. Let me see another one come in. And hold on, honey child. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Miss Sandy is the caller that called earlier this morning.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
the place, Family Resource Center. That's it that I was talking about. I did a few classes there as well. That's it there. I don't know who run it, and I think it's a part of government, but don't have the full details. But that's the program there. That's it as well.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That was
Thank
all
you.
I was telling you. Okay.
Thank you so much. Morning, Sandra. This topic has triggered me. I wish I could call in and talk about it on the other side of the teacher's desk, but I can't. So that's a teacher. That's a teacher who himself experienced some ish from these children. And these little kids bad, you know. The little girls be making accusations against the teacher. Oh, miss, he be looking at me and this and that just because they don't want to do what they're supposed to do. And then the parents be trying to fly up on people. It's ridiculous. No, sir. All right. Lots of messages coming in. Let me just see. Yeah, so we continue to struggle with radio. Like I said, I don't know what's going on there. So someone says also a 2-parent home, talking about these ACEs versus 1. And I know we don't like to talk about that because, again, we have lied to ourselves and kid ourselves into believing that 1-parent homes are great. You know how many people, listen, I'm not saying that good people have not come from 1-parent homes, but don't try to be glorifying a 1-parent home. Now, listen, is a one-parent home better than a dysfunctional two-parent home? Yes, every day of the week. However, pay attention, two-parent homes that are stable homes where both parents are of like minds and both working towards the same agenda, that's what you're aiming for. Pick better partners too, because y'all be picking these ridiculous men. All right, let's move on to the Michelles in our lives currently. So when this Filipina young lady called in yesterday, I was listening to her. And, when I told the boyfriend, he's like, oh, I can have her call in. If he had listened to me, he probably could have saved himself a little bit of headache this morning. Because I actually said, I don't really think that that's a great idea to have her call in. We saw the video, he got aggressive towards her. She responded in an aggressive manner. Some of these relationships are very tumultuous. And, you guys think that this is normal. You like this kind of thing. Like I was reflecting yesterday, honest reflection on my own relationship with my husband, but not just with him. So that's been over 13 years with any man that I've been in a relationship with. And I have always been very, very afraid. I got to use that word of violence, right? And you know why? It's not even about what that person was about to do to me. I was afraid of what my response would be. So I always, two things. I've never liked controlling people. And I know that that's deep seated in childhood because my aunt that I grew up with in Tampa was an extremely controlling person. So anyone that reminded me of her in that way, she had some good qualities, don't get me wrong. I thank her every single day for where I am today, but she was really, really controlling. Now, as I grew into adulthood and I'm now a parent myself, I also understood why she felt it necessary to be as controlling as she was, right? Her greatest fear was, I've taken somebody else's child in, I'm responsible for them, right? Coming from a small island, back then, we had a population of 10, 15,000 back in the 80s or whatever. If anything ever happened to this child, how could I ever live with having to call my brother on the phone and say, Sandy got kidnapped or this or that or whatever. So I understand some of it was just her personality. Because her adult son, he never moved out from home. So if that tells you how controlling she was. And he was 10 years older than me. And then for me in particular, it was a female child. And it was also a little bit of, I have the responsibility of somebody else's child. So all of that gave her more than ample reason to just be very, very controlling. So I've never liked controlling people in my personal space at all, whether they're friends or men. I can't stand a controlling person. And I've also never really taken to people who engage in violence, right? No man has, well, I'll say this, he wasn't my man, but in high school, this guy, Mike, he did lay his hands on me. And my response was, I'm going to kick you into the blinkety blink ground because you don't touch me, right? And we need to teach our young girls that no boys don't come and be grabbing them up and touching them up and hitting on them and whatever. I was like, I don't know who your mama is and who taught you that you could put your hands on me, but we not playing that game. And so in my personal life, right, there was one small incident where one Colombian, he kind of was looking at me hard and was preventing me from moving out of a situation. And even that was too much for me. I was like, dude, if you know what's good for you right now, you can back up and give me space. And that did not last long. I was like, nope, out of here. I am not into the violence in personal relationships. And I think the more of you who recognize it early on and run like a bat out of hell, the better off you are. So now we have we're going to talk about two Michelles, and both of them. My apologies. Somehow we lost a little connection there. I don't even know what the last thing was that you heard, but I was just sort of giving my own experiences around not being into people who are controlling, not being around people who get violent. I've never been inclined to be around men in particular who really are into violence. That's just not, it's not how I was raised. It's not what I'm into. I'm just like, no, right? Those have been my personal choices. And I think that the bigger lesson here is if you find someone that you like and you want to talk to them, you check in them, and in the early stages, they exhibit controlling behavior or violent behavior, run like a bat out of hell. I'm telling you, it never ends well. This morning, we are going to talk about two Michelles, very different situations, but there's an element of violence in each of them. Now, some of you have said to me, Sandy, you know, we have the video with DJ Ryan and this girl. Was that really an assault? Well, I explained it yesterday as to why legally it is an assault. But, you know, this kind of goes back again. And I think this is where everyone has their own sort of measuring stick of what they consider violence and what they consider assault. And there's some people who will look at that video and say, yeah, that's not really assault, Sandy. Yeah, that's all right. And then the other people like me, you throwing wine on my food, you're getting aggressive with me, up in my face, yelling and screaming at me, threatening my friend. That's violence to me. I don't know about the rest of you, but that is violence to me. And so I'm a little bit shocked when people say, is that really assault? And I'm just like, yeah. But I understand the point that for some of you, you have been in relationships where the fighting, the cussing, the carrying on was the norm. And so even when I say to you that that was an assault, yes, her response was to assault him back with her napkin. And there might be defenses to that. I'll leave that up to you. But this seems to me, it might not be, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but maybe it's not a extremely violent relationship, but it is a relationship that tolerates. It is obvious that the parties in this relationship will tolerate at some level disrespect, right? And assault and battery. Yes, they are tolerating it. Now, how much y'all gonna tolerate? I don't know. Y'all seem to be willing to tolerate a lot of foolishness. Okay? So, right? He assaults her, then he calls in, and then says, I'm gonna have her call. I tried to warn him that that wasn't a good idea. But what I do know is that given her background, what has now come to light, what we now know about Michelle number one, let's call her for clarity, the Filipino Michelle, all right? So we'll call one the Filipino Michelle, the next one the CBC Michelle. What I find interesting about her is she has this history of behavior, right? And yet she still had the audacity to call into this show, and there's no other word I can use that would be appropriate but audacity. She had the audacity to call into this program and try to disrespect me. She tried, trying to take me on and trying to tell me that DJ Ryan has done more for this community than I have. Wow. She is so ill-informed. Poor her. But you know, it says a lot that someone could be in Cayman for just a couple of years. And they have the balls and the gumption to be so rude and disrespectful that they could call in publicly on a talk show, no less, and say what she had to say. I want to remind you guys of the conversation this morning. Let's have a listen.
Hi, I saw your live. I'm watching the live. I'm the
Yes.
girlfriend.
Oh,
of
you're the
one that you're
girlfriend?
broadcasting.
Poor
Yes,
you.
and I don't wanna discuss my name to you.
Okay. You sound
I'm
like,
not gonna tell.
can I
I
just,
am. Mhm.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So I just want to let you know
Yes.
that
I mean, she didn't know what I was going to ask her, but she said, I said, you sound like, she didn't let me finish. So she didn't actually know what I was going to say. And she said, I am. What I was going to say, although she doesn't know it, I was going to say to her, you sound like a Filipina. Well, she said, I am. So I don't know if she thought that that's what I was going to say or not, but just to clarify, although she didn't let me finish, that's actually what I was going to say, but continue to listen. Turns out she is, but continue to listen.
Ryan is very great guy.
Oh,
He's
poor
done
you.
so much for me.
I
And
know. Where, can
whatever
I ask
is
you
in the
where
video,
you're,
yeah.
can I ask you where you're from? Mm-hmm.
You don't have to know, right?
Right.
But I am the one in the video, and I'm telling you right now, I can tell you the full story of what is in the video, and I know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But do not judge the person just based on the video,
Oh.
because I know what you're doing, that you're ruining someone's reputation
Right.
that's probably way known and have done so much for this island more than
Really?
you, okay?
More than
That
me?
person
Okay,
has done so much for me, and you don't have any idea what he's
girlfriend.
Okay.
Let me just stop it right there, because we got to take this in small, manageable bites, right? So she goes on and on about how much he has done for her. Okay, let me be clear. I don't have any qualms at all with her saying that, because I'm sure he's done a lot for her. Because apparently the number one criteria in a man for her is to find someone who is able to do for her. And I'm going to get to the details of why I say that. So I am 1,000% sure that he has done a lot for her. Girl, that's how you can go from exhibit number 1. Hold on now. That's how you can go from looking like this. Pay close attention. Yes. How you can go from looking like this to looking like, coming right up. Hold on, honey child. Let me get the right picture. You go from looking like that to looking like this. Because yes, he has done a lot for you. Yeah, you think Ryan is somebody because he gets to travel and he gets to DJ all over the world. And the other day he just went to Asia. They broke up because she was going on and on about, but yes, you had a big glow up from this to this. You know how you got that? From this to this. You got that, my dear, because him and other men. So if we're going to give people credit, let's give everybody credit, not just Ryan, because he's not the only one that has helped you go from a very plain Jean to having, a glamour moment. So yeah, I believe he's done a lot for you. Now you took it a little bit too far when you say to me, which is insulting. So you go from this to this. Yes, girl, he doing plenty for you. Because I know the makeup, the eyebrows, you see these eyebrows she went from, those are the ones where you have to go and get it, the microblading, that's all $500-$600. You got to get good makeup that allows you to do some contouring and to cover up some of the blemishes and whatever. I hear you. From 0 to 100, yes, you have glammed up in life, and I'm happy for you. Because I'm sure that is your number one objective in life. It's to look pretty on the outside. Okay, Michelle, I feel you. But when you said that he has done more for this community than me, that shows a level of disrespect. And I can tell you now, as a Caymanian in this country, you clearly have never been put in your place by anybody here yet. You don't have no respect for Caymanians. Because for you to come to this country to get glowed up, glammed up, to go from 0 to 100, and then not 100 in my book, but let's say 0 to 50, right? She trying a thing. For you to be able to come here and do it, and you couldn't even do it in your own country. You in New York as a call girl, and you obviously couldn't do it for long there before they tell you had to go, right? You come to Cayman and living your best life. I don't have no problem with you living your best life, but you're not going to do it on your terms and go around using and hurting people. And you're certainly not going to then call in on my public show and challenge me talking about this little propish, floppish Trini boy, because he a little boy to me, who, by the way, is in court. Isn't he the same one that's in court for being part of that DVDL scam? So he's I don't know if he's yet been convicted. So let's not quite call him a criminal. But yeah, he in court for that. So, we'll wait till we update that case and give you all the details. He's one of the ones. You have the audacity to talk about he has done more for this community than me? No. Don't come with it. You don't know nothing about the Cayman community. And it's not about me. This is about any Caymanian. My apologies. Chrome keeps crashing on me. It's just shocking that anyone would have the nerves to call in on a talk show here in the Cayman Islands and actually say what she said yesterday. It was not lost on me. That's why in the moment I was like, what? What are you saying to me right now? And the more that I reflected on it, the more I realized that this girl had some real special kind of nerves yesterday when she called in. It is the equivalent of coming into somebody's house. Disrespecting somebody out in the streets is one thing, but when you come on their turf, you come into their house and you disrespect them in their home, people take a particular different attitude towards that level of disrespect. Let's continue to listen to what she was saying to me. He has done more in this community than you have, she says. And I beg to ask the question, what has Ryan Kirk ever did to help a single Caymanian? I don't know him, so I want y'all to help me out here. Instagram folks, I see y'all paying attention in class today. A lot of you are in this DJ space. So you know the guy. Is he helping? What's he doing for the community? Who's he helping? Is he helping Caymanians to get, gigs overseas like him? He giving y'all work? Because I want to know where she getting this information from that he has done so much in the community. That's what I need to know. I see somebody calling. I'm not sure if you're trying to call the show. So I'm confused when she said that. If y'all know something about him and what he has done, by all means, let me know, because I'm clearly not in the know. I have never heard of him. He go into the soup kitchen helping people? He helping at the old folks home? Is he going to Jasmine and offering his services to DJ services for free to raise money for them? What is this man doing? So not only is she trying to insult me with foolishness, she clearly don't have no facts, because I want to know. What is it that he is doing in this community? Help me out here. Huh? Your girlfriend.
For me, and you don't have any idea what she's
girlfriend.
Okay.
Let me
just do not judge the person just based on that video and spread it on social media and try to catch up whatever comments it is.
Okay, don't judge a person. Let me try and understand what this fool is trying to say. Don't judge a person based on how they conduct themselves in public. Wow, really? Okay. That sounds a little bit low-key stupid to me. Do we not judge people every day based on their behavior? So he's such an upstanding individual that he decides to go into a 5-star restaurant, as they say, right? And behave like a proper fool. And then you're telling us that when we see the video, we mustn't judge him? Girl, what planet you living on? Because I'm here on planet Earth, and I can tell you, when people act in the manner that he acted, walk into a restaurant the way in which he did, went on with his behavior. You think the management and owner of this restaurant would have sent me this video if they thought that this video was okay? If they thought that his behavior at their establishment was okay? You think the people sitting next to you who were checking on you to make sure that you were okay, now they can see that they're wasting their time being worried about you? You think that they weren't sitting there judging him, and now they're judging you for actually defending him and defending this behavior? Right? Both of you are going to be judged. But what we really need to talk about here this morning, and this is where I need the class to pay attention, is when you are the type of person that Michelle is, the fact that she had the nerves to call in yesterday told me two things, okay? Number one, she has never listened to the cold hard truth before in her life because she's trifling with the wrong person. I am not the one. She should have seen this coming. Number two, you gonna get on here with your background, your history, huh? And you think that you are so special because you dating DJ Ryan, and I don't know who he is, even who he think he is. But in your head, you are so special, and he has done so much in this community. I guess he's the premier of the Cayman Islands, that he is giving you some kind of coverage for you to talk nonsense to me yesterday. I want to break it down. Okay. This girl has come to Cayman and has done nothing but cause pure havoc since she has been here in this country. Y'all might have missed it yesterday, but I want you to understand now what really happened. Pay attention. All right? This is what is going on. She came to Cayman after being a call girl in the U.S. And I'm not saying this with any compunction that I'm getting this wrong. We know. And her MO right away was to come here to use as many men as possible. And boy, has she been busy. She been real busy. She first started out, poor Dawn, who owned Vine and Tap. She hired her first. What a mistake that was. She certainly ended up regretting that. So right away, she jumps on Dawn's son. I didn't even know that Dawn had a son. Dawn got a son? She got children? Lord have mercy. Y'all need to catch me up. I didn't even know that, honey child, but apparently Dawn got a son. So right away, are y'all sure that Dawn got a son? Anyway, if you say so. But she jumped on somebody that she thought was Dawn's son, even if it wasn't her. If Dawn not even got a son. That's the first thing she do. Jump on your boss's son. That he wasn't the only one. She jumping on every Tom, multiple Dicks, multiple Harrys, Ebankses, Bardens, anybody that she could jump on. You know, y'all can call it a professional call girl, but in my book, this is straight up prostitution. And we know for a fact that there's certain people who come here and that is their MO from day one. So just because you can have a prostitute glam up and look good don't mean that their actions, by their actions, they're still not a prostitute. Let me be very, very clear. Okay? She can look good all she wants. She can glam up all she wants, but her behavior is one that leaves a lot to be desired. So Dawn got rid of her. She didn't last long at Vine and Tap. Yeah, she looking for a come up, all right. So Dawn does have a son. There you go. She jumped on the boss's son first and foremost. Then Dawn got rid of her. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't just a son, multiple people. Now, what they find attractive about her, only God knows, because remind me at 9:30, because I can't use that language on air. But remind me at 9:30 to tell you what one of her clients, because that what I gotta start calling them, because you can only have so many boyfriends at the same time before they become clients. I mean, let's be real now. Remind me what one of her clients said about her. That's a 9:30 conversation. Okay, but just remind me, because I'll probably forget. So Dawn, get rid of her. But this is where I blame people like Dawn. Now, you know, Dawn, I need you to pay attention, girlfriend, because your mistake in every single Caymanian who employs individuals who come here and start from early on to act out. I want you to pay attention. When you just cancel their permit and make them go on their merry way, you are creating nothing but further chaos in this country and in our community. You need to have written a very firm letter to immigration and tell them why you got rid of her. Huh? What she was doing to your son and other men. That is what you needed to do. But you just cancel the permit and let her go. That means that in 2-2s, Sandbar picked her up. Now, let me tell y'all what happened at Sandbar. Huh? The owner and manager there at Sandbar was getting so many complaints about her. The men were going there, complaining to Sandbar about how she was taking their money and this and that. And then they come in to find out that she was somebody else, and she got another man here, another man there, another man everywhere. In every nook and cranny, she had a man. So then the people them at Sandbar, they got sick and tired of the complaints. So they got rid of her. You see the pattern of behavior emerging? Every employer, El Rey says the politically correct term is an escort. All right, whatever. Prostitute, escort, same thing to me. So then they got rid of her. I want to talk about immigration policy, because this is why immigration also has an obligation to pay attention to when these people start job hopping. You go from Vine and Tap, you go to Sandbar, now you're going over at Tillis. Why all of the job hopping? They should have been asking some questions, but to be fair, the employers should have notified immigration, WORC, of what was going on. You people over there at Sandbar, why didn't you talk about why you had to get rid of her? All the men that were coming to your establishment, trying to make claims to her and complaining, and the chaos, the havoc that you didn't want at your workplace, why you decided to get rid of her. Caller, good morning.
Sandra, morning. You know I got to get in on this, right?
Remind yourself, we're still on radio, though.
Yeah, no, and Elma told me. She told me, no swearing. Sandra, WORC does not act on any letter that you write in against any employee when you terminate them or whatever, release them, whatever the situation is. If they quit and reasons or whatever, you write in against them. They don't even put them in the system.
Lord God.
Something of my letters of terminating permits was never even registered in their system. And the other thing, as a WORC employee told me, the only time we act on it is if they owe you money. Do they owe you money, or did they steal money from you? And then if you go to the police and file a report that they stole money from you, like I have done, the police tell you it's civil. They're not going to they can't deal with it because it's a civil matter. I got out an email from an RCIPS officer, and if Cousin Curtis want me forward that to him, I'm happy to do it too. But my point with these people, they have a tendency to come in here, and the minute they arrive, they know that they can breach our laws because our systems are weak. And I must say this, about almost 20 years ago, me and my brother had that conversation about the Filipinos coming into this country and how they're going to slowly take it over. And they're also going to slowly do every infraction possible in this country because we do not have the enforcements in place to look at it.
I'm going to come to enforcement because I got a real bone to pick with how she was here illegally for 4 months. And what did WORC do about it? No, she wasn't. She wasn't on no time. When I say illegally, she was illegally.
Time.
All right, I'll come into you.
Are you serious? But my point is, you go, once your permit expires, you have to go down to the WORC or CBC and get time. You get the first 10 days when the permit
she
expires.
hadn't done that for 4 months. And we have a particular Caymanian male officer who allowed her to stay in this country because he seems to have a real desire to be with women from that part of the world. And I'll come into him next.
Yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, you know that the uncovering was coming. They called me a liar and say I told all kind of lies about Filipinos doing this in the country. I just thank you so much, Sandra. Go ahead, do your thing. Let it rip. Have a good morning. We're listening.
Thank you so much. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm very grateful.
Good.
And I shan't keep you long. I just want to make a small correction to something you said regarding Dawn. Dawn's son is a minor, okay? So I don't know which male that was connected to Dawn that she was jumping on, but it wasn't Dawn's son. Dawn's son is a minor. Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
So I mean, again, you know, I didn't even know that Dawn had children, to be honest, but apparently I'm told she was married and she does have children. As the caller just clarified, her son is too young. Hopefully she wasn't jumping on a minor, but child, I wouldn't put that past them either. But anyway, I'm sure if Dawn knew that, she would have reported it to the police. So here's the comment that we got in relation to this situation. Apparently, Dawn was aware that she was selling the kitty. This is what the person said. Let me screen grab it so that you guys can see. Their exact words was, yes, apparently she was selling the kitty while at Vine and Tap. Dawn became aware of it. Dawn was not going to be supporting that kind of nasty behavior. And so she canceled her permit and let her go. Kitty cat, meow. Okay. I don't need to tell y'all what that means. It's still not quite 9:30, and I think you know what selling the kitty means. All right. So this is the hot mess. So from the second this girl has gotten to Cayman, she has been doing nothing but selling her kitty. And so Ryan, I know you believe you're special, but child, that kitty must be so worn out. Like I said, remind me at 9:30 to tell y'all a little story about it. But anyhow, you know, everybody done paying a little $100, $200 for it. So Ryan, you know, you're not nobody special. Poor you. What a scandal you have found yourself in. But you're the one who encouraged her to call into the show. Now, let me tell you one thing. There is a particular officer that works for CBC that I got a bone to pick with. I'm not going to call his name here today, but he know who he is. And what I would invite all of the agencies connected to do is go check the audit trail. See how he assisted this Michelle to be able to stay in Cayman after being here for 4 months unlawfully. Because he likes Filipino women. He always got one. He got rid of the Honduran women for them now, and he really likes them a lot. Like I said, apparently there's an element of submissiveness that you men really, really love. And he has a reputation. There are even allegations surrounding him that he often accompanies them on the repatriation trip when they got send their backside back home. He gets on a plane, make sure they get to the UK. And somehow he manages to be boning down the place with them and promising them that he can find a way to bring them back to Cayman. You, sir, are even more disgusting than 20 of the Michelles of this world. As a fellow Caymanian, I need to have a coming to Jesus moment with you now. Because this is why I say, Caymanians, we are our own worst enemy. We're hounding down the politicians. Oh, fix it, Jesus, fix it. We need politicians. You know, we're not going to vote you in if you're not going to fix the immigration system. And then we sit back and we allow WORC and CBC officers to sit there just to get their little dilly-willy played with, to break our laws and to give people special consideration and allow them to stay here when they don't have no rights to be here, when they are breaking our laws. When it is a well-known fact that they're here prostituting just because you can get peace. Y'all are so stupid. How you feel special that you can ride the town bicycle when everybody else riding it? That's what I want to know. Do you really feel special, sir? You all don't have no shame. And even worse, you disgust me as a fellow Caymanian. And I'm calling on all the agencies to investigate your backside, and you should lose your job. You hear me? You're not going to continue to do it because your name has been called up to me before, and I am watching you now like a hawk. And anybody who know who I talk about, enough y'all do know, I want y'all to start reporting every single movement he make. Every time he getting on that flight to repatriate one, don't make him escort him to the bathroom alone. Don't leave him alone with him because he's having conversations with him. He chat with him. He fornicating with him. All kind of foolishness going on with this big man too. You know, he's not a little child. But this goes to show you that the stupidity that we as Caymanians are engaging in. How will the system ever be fixed when we are part and parcel of the problem? Same thing I say about these marriages of convenience. Oh, yeah. Oh, Sandy, you know, we can't get jobs and we did this and that. And oh, immigration. The government need to do the government can only do so much. Michael Miles can only do so much. When you have corruption, corrupted officers, you should never be engaging in any private conversation with any of these women. You should not be engaging in any private conversations or meeting up with them, having sex with them, none of that. That's why last week when I was telling you guys about this whole thing with Cayman Airways, it is a systemic problem. It should be automatic termination. But you see, once again, we come back to the slackness that is Cayman, right? Y'all don't see nothing wrong with all these people fornicating at work with each other. Huh? I hearing the stories about CBC head and CBC managers and this one screwing this one at work and that's how she get promotion, that's how she get job, this and that. But y'all acting like it's nothing. It is a problem and heads should have to roll as a result of it. Do your investigation. But he needs to know that we now over at CMR are watching you like a hawk. We want to know how this little picnic, this little girl here, no wonder she feel like she could call in on my show. Jesus, please hurry up with the last 3 minutes. How she could call in on my show and have the audacity to speak to me in the way in which she did. That means that someone has given her the confidence to be able to do so. And it is not just Ryan Kirk, who not even a Caymanian. It's somebody else, someone up in immigration. She's already gotten a pass. So because she already got a pass, she thinks that she is safe in this country. Girl, you're not safe. Because I will expose every person involved in this. Let no stone remain unturned. Oh, yeah. She had a right to call in yesterday and speak to me the way she did. Because they have empowered her. They have emboldened her to do it. Listen to the rest of the video. Listen carefully to how this woman was speaking to me. She a child to me, but listen to how.
This is just a relationship situation.
Yeah, and you're a victim, and you don't even know that you're a victim. That's the sad part. Well, now we know you're gonna. Let me try to understand what you just said to me as the girlfriend, right? You're gonna call my show.
I don't have to know the side of your story or whatever you have to say. I was the one in the video and not you. And I'm telling you right now, you have to stop this, and you shouldn't be doing this to anybody. Don't embarrass anyone, and you don't know who the real person is, and you don't know who they are.
Well, girl, now I know more about you and your kitty than I ever wanted to know. I know plenty now. You're listening to what this girl was saying to me? You listening to how fierce she was? Keep listening. Are you kidding me right now?
Because even
have you heard of Stockholm syndrome?
Oh my God!
Do you know what Stockholm syndrome is?
You don't know. You just wanted the fame, and I'm sorry I can't help you with that. But please.
Yeah, but have you heard of Stockholm syndrome?
Wrong information and wrong things. Okay.
Have you heard of Stockholm syndrome?
Is a really good person to me,
right?
And the people around him.
Okay,
Bye. I don't have time for you.
Oh, poor you, girl. Please. Okay, man. Status can't be that important to y'all. What the? So yeah, you see how emboldened she is. I believe it's 9:29. I think technically the radio shuts off at 9:29. So we are free. Let's get up and do our squats. Time to do some more squats, honey child. I think radio is done anyway. It's technically 9:29, but I say 9:30 to round it up. Let's do some squats first. All right, let's do 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9:30. FAFO. Somebody keep counting for me. Let me cut off the radio just to make sure we're off. Hang that up. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I got to back it up a little bit. Okay. Here the scoop now. This high price, and she's not really that high price, but this call girl had the audacity to get on the radio yesterday and come for me. I was like, yesterday I was thinking about this. And I said to myself, something wrong with her though, Knowing what she's hearing K-Man doing, why the fuck would you actually call me? Because Ryan told you to? He don't know that you were going to get blazed up or what? I have a theory about it too. Hi, caller. Hello?
Miss Sandy, I just want to interrupt you 2 minutes, no? Listen to me. If Ryan were paying for my new face and my new grace in a country that don't belong to him nor myself, you don't think I'd had mouth for you too? I'd come to you too, Bubba. If immigration not gonna deport me or send me off of there, you think I wouldn't come to Miss Sandy? If an immigration system so slack, that gonna make her be there for so long. And she's sleeping with a CBC officer. If that were me, Miss Sandy, I'm not disrespecting you because I wouldn't, but I'm telling you my truth. I would have gone.
Of course.
I have reached.
That's why she's so bold.
I got platinum and I got diamond now.
That's right, girl. That is right.
That's what we doing. That's what we bringing them in there to do.
Yeah.
And I hope CBC and all them listening this morning because she not the only crosses and crossmate. They're not the only skettel or professional whore that got come out and we are getting more. We are getting more and they undercover. And because our government just feel like, oh, they pretty and they this and they that. It's okay for her to say, but if you were glamming me up like that too, Bobo, I'd had enough mouth for you too. I'm sorry, that's my 2 cents. Let me make it finish with my heart.
Yes, child. Oh, believe me, I understand quite well why she feels that she could come for me yesterday. I get it. Why is the AC off? Whew, no, sir. Don't we turn off my AC, people? I need AC. Yes, I got paid CUC for it, but I need it. So, yeah. I get it, girl. I know why she coming for me. Because that same stink boy, and that's what I call him, fuck boy, that's what he calls him, right? Who's more concerned about getting his rocks kicked or whatever he calls it now, or rocks sucked or whatever. Working for government, we the people of the Cayman Islands, paying you to do a job on our behalf. And what you out here in these streets doing? Screwing down every Filipino you can get your hands on? You little disgusting piece of shit. Look here now. Okay, man, going to hell in the handbasket because of people like you. You are messing this country up. And for what reason? For you to get a 2-bit whore? You don't have to do it, You love to go over there. Just take a 1 month vacation every year and go in all the brothels over there and get your nuts sucked out and whatever else you got to do. Enjoy yourself. Have a sex vacation. But do not allow these people to come to Cayman and abuse our people, our laws, our system, and you become part and parcel of the problem by helping them stay here so you can have access to them. That is what I'm saying this morning, because he checking her too. Disgusting. What is wrong with you, WRC and CBC officers? He's CBC. You got to do better. And the people are going to demand better of you. Yes, Miss Pat, it's time to clean Cayman up. And we are going to start with these officers. They're considered law enforcement officers. And they're still involved in all kind of whatlessness that puts this country at risk. So she came for me yesterday, talking about how good Ryan treats her and the people around him. I don't have no doubts about that. The part that you and I are going to diverge on is the fact that he's not doing nothing for the community. That's him and his friends. Yeah, you can travel and he can buy your handbag and this and that, and you can feel special. But Ryan, ask yourself this morning, because I know you listening, Bobo. How many other men have had a piece of that? You feel so special? How many other men contributing to the hair, the makeup, and everything else? I'm here to tell you, just in case you didn't know, but of course you know. Because when you were checking her, she had another man, and you think you special because you took a whore from one of her clients. The only difference is he didn't know that he was a client. She not nobody that anybody with sense should want. Go around lying to people about she has a house here and a house there and whatever. Child, please. I want to see the hole in the wall that you've come out of in the Philippines. Talking shit to people. Yeah, boy. Not no meat on her for, I don't know how you Caribbean men, y'all gone from bad to worse. There was a time when a Caribbean man like, no man, I need somebody with little curves and a little something to hold on to, Sandy. Now y'all got flat boards. You're holding on to flat board. Look here. Nothing about her, nothing shapely. No little meat, no little nothing, but this is what y'all are into. And I'm going to tell you why, I told y'all must remind me at 9:30. No one not even reminding me. I'm going to give you an example of why women like her become so attractive to men like Ryan, Kirk, and others. Apparently, their submissiveness makes them extremely attractive. Ew. They will make you do anything to them. Case in point, one of her former clients, one of her former men was talking to one woman. Now, some of us, when we talk to you guys, we like your sisters, So you tell us stuff that maybe you wouldn't tell everybody. And we can say, Bobo, what you see in her? Like, somebody paid for the braces and whatever, but she's not really cute. I mean, what is it? What? Tell us. You know what he had to say? I'm going to be very blunt here. So if you're offended by blunt sexual language, just turn off the stream for a minute. This is what he had to say. He said, TD, this is kind of how the conversation went. TD, she can't even fuck good, It's just that she does everything I want. And I'm going, what? So she's not a good fuck. Let me try and make this logically make sense. It's adult time now, adult conversation. So she's not a good fuck. She can just lie down there, I guess. Not got nothing about her. But because she is over-sexualized, right? Because you know that how they train them from day one. And she'll make you do anything. You can put it in any hole you want. Ear hole, bonk, a hole, whatever hole. Don't make no difference. Mouth hole, every hole. If you want threesome, if you want a fivesome, she gonna be up for it. She not gonna tell you no. That is why y'all in love with her? That is why y'all so up in your what? Y'all just nasty. Here it is. Apparently, even driving in traffic, she is the type of girl that is going to go down on men. She's doing it right here in Cayman, go down on them and give them a blowjob while they're in traffic. Now, listen to me. I'm no prude, despite what y'all think. However, as many accidents as y'all be having here in Cayman roads, and as small as this island is, now that is what you call a different level of stupidity, actually. But that's what these men like. They'll be driving down West Bay Road. All of a sudden, they just pick her up from work at Tilly's. She got unzip them and go down on them and give them head as they're driving. And these men, they've been so starved for any real action in their lives because, I don't know what y'all been doing in Cayman. But anyhow, that's exciting to them. That's what they want. And so they'll give her anything. Any kind of money, hand her the paycheck, fighting over her, going to Sandbar, complaining to her boss at Sandbar about how she's using them and she taking money. They have written into WORC about this bitch and she is still here. About how she's using all these men. She's causing them emotional damage. Where's my emotional damage guy? Come into the studio, son.
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
Raymond say you boosting sales, but y'all stupid because that ain't nothing special. I mean, but y'all love the thrill of it, you see. It's a thrill of it. Good morning.
Good morning, Auntie.
Boy, I was hoping you were her calling me because I want her to call me back. She not got no fucking balls now though.
You are this message. Mm-hmm. Not every blow job is a good blow job.
Hello.
Not because you go down and vet it. If you don't do the work, it's not a good one. So tell her going down and vetting one is not the same as doing the job.
But that
good job.
That is what I am. That is what they're saying. Why they're so into her. You can imagine.
Please. But she needs to take care of her face. So she look like she's blowing too many. Something breaking up on her.
My God. Thanks, honey child. So somebody said to bodily go where most everybody has already gone, to boldly go where everybody else has gone, driving bad enough. Yeah, my dear child. This is why this girl thinks that she's somebody. This is why she rolled up on me yesterday. Now after I was thinking about it and I started to get more information about who she is, now I'm like, damn, I see why she got balls. She got some big cojones. Huh? But I hope she know me and her not no companions. We not playing. Listen, you're all the way out left field. I'm over Yeso in this corner. Now, everybody in Cayman, we got almost 700 people listening to live stream. Everybody in Cayman is going to know that you are nothing more than a 2-bit whore. DJ, what your name is? Ryan? Kurt? Your girlfriend that you want to go around with and show off to people and, take her on trips and all that kind of stuff. She is nothing more than a 2-bit whore. You hear me? Okay? So you can take her to all the DJing parties. You can dress up a pig. You can put makeup on her, give her gold and diamond earrings, right? Sitting up next to her with your head tilt back, trying to look all cute. And she is still nothing but a 2-bit whore. And the guy right next to her, I don't know who this is in the DJ booth here, but he probably had a piece of her that night too. How stupid do you feel? Why you had that bitch call my show? Because when you stepped into the game with her, she never had multiple men. But y'all so disloyal. You don't even have any respect for yourself, much less any of the other guys out there to say, boy, you got a man. I'm not touching you. No. You like, oh, I got to take peace too. And so now you believe you the mean squeeze? The real reason y'all probably fighting is because you know she out here getting it from every Tom, Dick, and Dick, and Dick, and Dick, and more Dick. And then she gone working Tillis. Tillis should fire her ass by Monday. Because they soon start getting complaints about the bitch too, if they haven't already. But you know them people, Tillis, they wasn't running a tight show. But guess what? I told y'all that Dart took over the show over there now, so she not going to be getting the same pass that she was getting before. So make sure y'all know her day is going to be numbered on this island. But I go back to the CBC officer who has allowed this woman to remain in Cayman, who has emboldened this woman where she feels like she could call the cold, hard truth, and talk pure foolishness and nonsense on the phone, and that she wasn't going to get what was coming to her. That's what I want to know. Because trust and believe when I tell you, this is a level of madness. Is she working in housekeeping? What was she doing at Tillis? Cleaning the toilets? Because that's about what she deserves to be doing. Now let's talk about the brother. Okay, the brother not much better, except he's on the other side of the spectrum. He's into men. Now, you can be into anything you want. You guys know I support my LGBTQ plus members. However, I don't support anybody going around mashing up people's relationships, whether you're straight, gay, or in between. Right? So let's be very, very clear. He's out here on the other side of the spectrum, taking people man from him and all kind of mix up. I'm just like, this is like the whoring, roving family. It's like those who whore together, you know, live together, get along together. I mean, I don't know. So John LaRue is here to defend the foolishness, says, wait, so because she said Ryan has done more for the island than you, she's now a two-bit whore. Sounds like you can dish it out. But come on, you're stepping to her level. No. Ryan, you can't jump into class late and then talk pure fuckerage. Ryan, wait a minute. John, let's have a come into Jesus moment. She's not a two-bit whore because she decided to come for me. She's a two-bit whore because she is a two-bit whore. Have you not been listening? Every job she gets, they have to get rid of her because she's out here selling the kitty. Rewind, John. You came late. I'm insulted at what she said because it isn't true. That's the first insult. This man that did shit for this community. But if she wasn't a two-bit whore, I wouldn't be calling her a two-bit whore. I would just address it like I said. He hasn't done anything for this community. She's being paid and bought for, right? She's clueless. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's bold because she has a certain Caymanian up in CBC that she feel like has her back and allowed her to stay in this country 4 months unlawfully and then regularized her after that. That's why she was bold to come after me. That don't have nothing to do with her doing a two-bit whore, being a two-bit whore, and that's not why I'm calling her that. I'm calling her that because she's actually a two-bit whore. She's been selling her pussy since she come to Cayman. That is what makes you a two-bit whore, John. So come on now. I need you to keep up in class and pay attention. And her brother is equally out there doing the exact same thing, except he's selling it to men and breaking up relationships on that side of the spectrum. And he lied on his immigration paperwork, and he already has a conviction for distribution of pornography in the Philippines. That's why these people shouldn't be in this country. They don't have nothing to... The only part that shocks me, John, is the woman know all of this about herself. She think nobody wasn't going to tell me who she was or what? So when she said, oh no, she's not going to tell me her name, I say that is why it's obvious that she has never listened to this show. Because, bitch, you don't have to tell me your name. It's only a matter of time. And as soon as she called in, boom, my phone started to blow up about who she was. All right. He says, fair enough. My bad. Yeah, I not call nobody a two-bit hoe if that's not what it is. Her behavior of using men for money, and you hear it in her praises of Ryan. Oh, he's been so good to me. He's been so good to me. He's paying for this. He's paying for that. That's why she's using his car, which, by the way, not for nothing, but let me go back to this DVDL thing with Ryan, right? The same car. You see how these people operate, right? This same car now is probably the same little vehicle. I hear one little beat up Audi or whatever, but he's the same one involved in this corruption case with vehicles, getting vehicles passed that haven't even passed proper inspection. Remember, he involved in that too. So you think you're somebody special because this donkey can make you take his vehicle that he can't even pay for. You can imagine some of y'all are so dumb. You want to go buy a fancy car. Oh, I want Mercedes. I want an Audi. I want this. I want that. And you can't even afford to get it properly licensed and inspected? Because why else would he be doing this? See his picture up in here? See him, huh? I got to check the court and see what his case is. But there he is. See him there with a little peace sign? That him. Right there. The third one from the top. So he can't even follow the rules in terms of making sure his vehicle is roadworthy. This is how much he's doing for the country? Really? And this is someone who is so upstanding that she gonna be comparing him to me? Well, I know one thing. I pays my driver's license fees. I pays my inspection. I'm not trying to pull nothing over nobody. No, sir. His full name is Ryan Kirk Mohammed. He's now 40. He's 45 in 2024. So I guess this year he'll be 47 years old. Dealing with this little young froppish girl. Huh? So this is the man that is doing so much for the community. He don't even want to pay his fucking fees over at DVDL. But yet he's doing so much. Child, please. Go sit your stupid ass down. That's what I have to say to you. You are dumber than a stack of bricks. That don't make no sense. Huh? He does so much for the community. Does he really? Because if you can't even pay your fees to government, how much you think you're doing to the community? You're not even following the law, bro. No, Denver, we're not going down that road talking about he Muslim. I don't give a shit if he Muslim or Christian. That ain't not got nothing to do with this. His bad behavior and his disregard for the laws is because he just think he's somebody too. Huh? We allow him to come here and break our laws and break our rules. Sylvester says she's not the problem. It's who support her. I agree that they're the bigger problem. And that's why I'm calling it a proper investigation now into how she was here for 4 months unlawfully. And someone was able to allow her to remain in Cayman. How and why did that happen? How and why is it that the brother lies on his work permit? Right? Distribution of pornography in his own country, in the Philippines, he got convicted for. How is this brother still here? This one said, why is his head tilted in his picture? Somebody must have told him that looked good. I don't know. I have no idea. No, sir. So my point, though, is somebody sent me another Filipino lover at CBC. They got him nearly dead. Oh, yeah, he's not even the one that I'm talking about. No surprise that we got more than one, trust me, because y'all stupid. But anyhow, but he's not the one I'm talking about. But regardless, You know, I don't care. You can love who you want, you know. You know, I get it. Caymanian men think that because they got a couple dollars more than the Filipinos, you know, they think, oh, papi, you so rich, you got so much money. And like I said, they make them do anything to them, treat them any kind of way. They're submissive. They can sit there and get the little grime out of your toenails and suck on your toes and do whatever you want. That shit, it's all nasty. But I'm a big woman and you can do whatever you into. I don't really care. Ones that do involve children and animals, what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom is your business. But once you allow that to spill over into the community, right? When you can't even follow the rules, the second a Filipino come before and sit before you as a CBC officer, all of a sudden your little willy goes bing, and you get so stupid that you be breaking the laws in this country. That is where I then have a problem. And this woman has an extensive history. Why do we want people like that here? Why are we encouraging prostitution in this country? Huh? You don't have enough homegrown ones that you can't get rid of that doing it? But because y'all like them, you give them a pass. You cannot be a law enforcement officer and sitting down, not just tolerating this behavior, but actually being part and parcel of the problem and encouraging the behavior. That is where you need to go. Go open up a bar where you can hire them and then we'll deal with you. Of course, Shannon, he not no Caymanian. He might have PR by now. We can find him, boy. So she's been working at Tilly's for about 4 months. Not even there for long. And these businesses keep hiring her. Don't worry. We're going to have to do something about this situation. My, again, position is very, very clear. You cannot come to this country and do anything that you want, however you want to do it. This is not your country. You have to follow the rules. And I get it. I see the conundrum that some of y'all are in because the very enforcers of the rules sometimes are the problem. So, Michelle, you need to go. You really, really, really need to go. I'm asking for the authorities to review your file and tell me, because I know people who with less infractions than that, who y'all kicked off of this island. Oh, you overstayed for 2 months. You got to go. So what made her so special? Huh? What made her so special that it is being alleged that a particular CBC officer bent the rules to allow her to stay in the Cayman Islands? It can't happen. And not gonna happen. She got to go. And that's the bottom line. Like I said, if you guys want to, go to the Philippines and have your sexcapade vacations, then help yourselves. I can't stop you. That's your business. Do whatever. Carrie, they're into some straight up nastiness. There's no two ways about it. No two ways about it. Lady D says this is why STDs are so high in Cayman. Yep, they don't care. They don't care. But go over there. Do it on their turf. Don't bring it to our small little island. Don't destroy what is left of Cayman. The little bit of decency that we have left, and God knows, and not that much. I mean, I gotta be honest with y'all. Y'all been doing shit for a long time. There's nothing new. Them seamen were into some crazy shit as well. Now let's talk about the other Michelle. Liana says it's a red flag for someone on a permit to be jumping from job to job less than 6 months to a year. And this is why I can see why the proposal now is that when you leave a job, you can't be going to the next job. I get it. Because that indeed is high risk behavior. It's, she getting fired from each one of those jobs. Because when you see, this is the part that I think some of y'all don't understand, When someone has a work permit and the employer now, and they cancel that work permit, that is the equivalent of being terminated for whatever reason. Okay? They're terminating these individuals. And we are allowing them to stay in Cayman and just go jump on another employer. Then they get terminated again. Then they go to another employer. Tilly's, excuse me. You guys are not supposed to be hiring people of her caliber. Ask yourselves why. When she interviewed for the job at Tilly's, did they ask her, well, why did you leave Vine and Tap? Why did you leave Sandbar? Why did they let you go? I heard that the poor owner and manager over at Sandbar couldn't take the number of complaints. He was like, all these men coming in complaining about her, he can't take no more. You understand? So, time for y'all to deal with her. Go back and confirm what we're saying. If she was here for 4 months unlawfully, make her get the hell out of this island and don't come back. So it took her 4 months. You know what that means, right? That means that it took her 4 months to actually find another job because nobody wanted to hire her. And she didn't bother to go in and get her time and stuff like that like she was supposed to. And then one of our officers allegedly put his neck and his little small pee-pee on the line for her. Y'all better stop it. Mm-hmm. No, sir. All right. That's Michelle number 1. We good? Michelle and the brother, Daryl, he got to go too. Mm-hmm. I think he was Sandbar too, so I guess they got rid of him. Must have been the man coming to look for him and the man coming to look for her. Maybe they didn't know which one of the Guerra siblings they were coming for. Anyone will do for some of y'all because y'all don't even. Ugh. Anyway, let's move on to the next Michelle now, which is a CBC officer. So apparently her poor mother is all up in her feelings. And I have additional information about what actually went down. So I do want to go into the details of that this morning, of how she managed to run over her poor husband. So first of all, Mr. Jared, I'm sorry that this happened to you. And I'm also sorry that you were foolish enough to try to protect her. This incident happened on March the 5th. And Jared was trying to protect her and lie, but now I understand that he was being manipulated by Banak and Pum Pum so that he was so confused in his, very delicate physical and no doubt mental, emotional state as well. Like, I can't imagine someone that you're married to and have a family with, and you helping to raise their other children by some other man, runs you over. That has got to play a number on your head. You understand? Right? Can you imagine? Oh my God. Imagine Marlon running me over and leaving me for dead. I would be like, even if you have your problems, you don't think that the person wants to kill you? Let's clarify what happened on the evening of March the 5th. Apparently, there is some bar by One Capitol Place, some little hole in the wall. I don't even know nothing about it. So it's across from Roti shop. There's some little bar there. And her and Jared, her husband, although supposedly, I don't know what kind of relationship these people got, because you hear they're not living together. She kicked him out of the house. She be bringing men to the house. She be doing this, and he's still going out with her. So I guess they still kicking it. I don't know. Y'all got me confused, boy. I don't know how y'all do this. So anyhow, poor old Jared, he going out with her now for the evening. And when they walk in there, one of her side pieces, some Rasta man that she checking, hear how this story go. Now, Jeez, some peace. Yes, and two Michelles. Some Rasta man that she check in, he up in there now with his wife, and she see him and the wife and get pissed off. There was some misinformation yesterday that Jared might have been chasing her. That ain't what happened. They went out together. They walk into the bar together. And then I wonder if she's the one who recommended this establishment, knowing that the next man often goes there too. Because don't y'all try to go to, when you check in more than one man at the same time, you don't try and go different places? Like to keep them apart? Like you said to one guy, okay, you know, me and you gonna go over here. And then, you know, the next one, we would never go there because I might run into him. She don't even keep them straight like that. So she go in there, see Rasta man with his woman, and she gets upset and starts getting up in her feelings. And then her and Jared go outside now and they arguing about how you gonna be up in your feelings about your side chick being out with his wife. That's the first question I got. I mean, honest to God, I'm just like, how? No, sir. Anyway, that's what happened. Then she assaults Jared, somehow manages to run the man over with her vehicle, leaves him for dead, just drive off about her business. She not business with Jared. My God, Jared, where you found her at? Then somebody called her and said, oh, Jared is up at Hell City. So she run up there quick time, realizing that, oh, shit, we might have a problem if he's up at Hell City. Let me get to him before police start asking questions or before he start having to say stuff, et cetera, et cetera. So let me see here now. Yeah. So then, one second. So then I got a source messaging me. I might have to take a little call. So she rushes up to Health City to him, right? Trying to cool things down, pretending then that she cares, even trying to at that point hide evidence. That's how they find her uniform into the garbage bin. And then there's this huge cover up going on. And poor Jared, I'm telling you, victims, Stockholm syndrome. They gonna lie. They gonna try to protect their. So of course she's there. Oh, please don't report me. I got children. I'm a mother. I'm going to, you know, lose my job. Da 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 da. What a hot mess. It's pretty wild. So that's why she wasn't arrested. Some people are under the impression because she's CBC, they were trying to keep on the down low. No, it was because the victim was actually protecting her. And that's unfortunate. You think that she had run you over and leave you for dead, right? You really think this woman mean you any good? The next time, I'm sorry to say, that I mean, I don't know what she's gonna do to you the next time. Why would you even try to protect her? So I see Miss Charlene says, I'm personally acquainted with her and always found her to be quite respectful and reserved. So I'm wondering what she say, what truly caused her to snap? Just saying. Listen, I've only dealt with her in a professional capacity and I've had no issues with the young lady. I said, you know, she seems to do her job as a customs officer. But let me be very, very clear. It is very, very possible for you to be one way at work, right? in a completely different way when it comes to your home life. We see it all the time. Yeah? People want to carry themselves in a respectable manner at work. And then when you see them out in the street. So I don't think there's any dispute that she really enjoys the company of quite a few men. And I'm going to tell you, I see Prosperity Purpose posted whatever he did. I'm sure that he's not going to do it again. You cannot make assumptions. I have heard nothing about this man, right? That has indicated that he is the one who's beating on her. He's the one who deserved this. Nothing like that. I have heard he is a chill guy. He's a cool guy. He might be a fool for Honduran puss, but God knows if that was a crime, most of y'all would be in jail a long time ago. So that certainly cannot be a crime. That is not a crime. He does not deserve to almost have lost his life. He may still yet lose his leg. The way that leg looking, that's either going to be a permanent disability or I don't even know. It's horrible. Right? And then to leave him there, to not even try to call 911, to get him immediate help. Come on. This is a problem. Maybe his number one fault is he too nice. Because that is to be said of some of you as well. So, of course, apparently her mother got all up in her feelings in the comment section. Now, I always recommend family members, when you see the news coverage of your children, we just reported the police sent out a press release finally. We emailed them, said, y'all arrested somebody? They finally sent something, right? We published it. So then the mother get all up in her feelings. This is her mother, Helen Johnson. I think she goes by Sandra or something too, is her proper name. I don't know. And talking about this is for Sandra of Ma Road. You call Michelle Honduras whore, but let me tell you one thing. No one had ever had the fuck balls. I guess that's supposed to be bowls to tell you the fuck whore is your fucking mother. The one who fuck and throw you out of her puss. Hear this now. That is why you big mouth bitch fuck keep it up. I'm coming for you again. You came for me before? Because I didn't even know. If you say so. Helen Johnson, I don't know who the hell you are, but clearly you have no self-respect, right? If this is your daughter, which I'm understanding, you're supposed to be the mother. From what I understand, the apple never fall far, and maybe that's why you up in your feelings. But let me make it very, very clear. You can't come for me. You can call my mother anything you want. That's not really my concern. That's not my business. I'm not here to defend anybody else. What I'm telling you is she never ran no man over. You can believe that. So you can try and disrespect her as though you think that's going to change anything. Your daughter can still be going to jail. She's going to still lose her job. And maybe what you should focus on is how you manage to raise a daughter that could be treating what everybody says is a fairly nice man the way in which she has been treating him. Now, what you could have done is you could have just kept your mouth shut and say nothing at all. You can't even write properly. Like that shows your level of ignorance. But I mean, if you feel special because of it, then knock yourself out, child. Poor you. The funny thing is, I didn't actually call her a whore, I was talking about in general terms yesterday, some of y'all with these Honduran whores. I didn't say she was a whore, but I guess if it smells like one, it looked like one, it's acting like one, and your mother get all up in her feelings about it, I guess there could be some truth to it then. I'm just saying. Poor you. Miss Sue here, Miss Sue Morrison made me laugh. She said, it sounds like you might need a hug and and the cookie. Sue Morrison, that was classic. Not just a cookie, not just a hug, but both. A hug and a cookie, child. No, his mother is Sandra. Oh, my apologies. Geez, I'm peace. So Helen is her mother. Okay. So, I mean, when somebody can keep 3 men plus your husband, you have the Rasta man, another Jamaican, and the husband, and another Jamaican. Wait, no, she got the Rasta. Where the Rasta from? He Jamaican too? The Rasta, another Caymanian fool, and the Jamaican, plus the husband? 4 men? Would you call that person a whore? Well, by my definition, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else you call them. 2-bit whore, 5-bit whore, town bicycle, I don't know. Not even just one side piece? Damn. Good morning. So let me understand this. CBC Michelle was wearing her work uniform when she attempted to murder her husband? Anyone who intentionally runs over another person is committing attempted murder. The mental element is present as well as the action involved. Well, you don't know the DPP's office, in their pure slackness, all they can do is charge with ABH because they don't want work for conviction. Y'all don't know that, honey child. So they have charged her. Let me just double check the article now. They have charged her with, or she's not charged yet. Let's make sure we get this factually correct. She has been arrested on suspicion and now charged, because she was in court yesterday, with assault causing grievous bodily harm after allegedly running her husband over with a vehicle in late February. I thought it was March. Oh, the evening. Oh God, this story is so mixed up. The incident itself occurred on the evening of Saturday, the 28th of February in the parking lot of One Capitol Place across from Roti Shop. Okay. Damn, he went almost a whole month with not telling the truth about what happened to him. Poor thing, he looked like he's scared of her. Wow. So sad. And nobody can't, everybody's saying that Jared is a cool guy. He's a nice guy. You know? Wow. That is so wild. Someone said because their brain is located at the head of their penis. I know some of these men are going to sense. No, sir. My God. Well, we will certainly be following all of these cases for you. Everybody's asking the same question. Denver, shouldn't she be charged with attempted murder? Unfortunately, what it takes to be charged with attempted murder, it looked like you got murdered a person first, and then they come back and be like, oh yes, that would be attempted murder too. They hardly ever want to charge people with attempted murder. I mean, you got to get somebody within the brink of killing them. You know, like if she had ran over his head and then amputated both legs and then stabbed him 20 times, shot him 5 times, then they probably would have charged her with attempted murder. I don't understand the police in the DPP's office. Sometimes I gotta tell you the truth. I don't know. It is hard for them to charge somebody with attempted murder. I guess they know their track record of not being able to get a conviction, but the way that you can do it, you can do a charge in the alternative. So you can go for the attempted murder charge and then say, you know, in the alternative, if he's not found guilty of this, or she in this case, we also bring in ABH, and then you prove it to the high, attempted murder, and the jury say, well, no, we don't think it's attempted murder. Then at least you got on the ABH. But they start small. They start with ABH, and then they'll negotiate that down even. So only God knows what she'll actually end up with in court by the time it's all said and done. But that's wild. This is a very sad story. Please confirm she's not on paid leave. But she's not on leave, not at all, Miss Anne. I tell you, I see the woman working Saturday at the airport. Let me message the government. I guess because now she's been charged, that maybe they have finally put her on leave. But my God, I just saw her on Saturday, and like I said, very pleasant young lady to deal with from an immigration perspective. I gotta give her her due. And I had no problems with her. She took my receipt. She looked everything over. She did her calculation. She said, I'd look in the bag. I said, go ahead, honey chow. Knock yourself out. No problem. Yada, yada, yada. Little did I know, I was standing in front of a woman who is capable of running a man over and was trying to cover it up. It blows my mind. Jesus, it's crazy. Of course, a vehicle can be a weapon. Oh, Carrie, them fools over there. Denver says, and she's working for government. They can't even fire people. Ms. Brenda says you have to be Caymanian to get the harshest charges. In fact, Caymanians get overcharged. I hear you, Ms. Brenda. Trust and believe. You really have to wonder. Oh, you didn't see her photo yesterday, Anne? Hold on. Let's recap what she looks like. And she's not a bad looking young lady too, but geez, she's keeping herself busy with all these men though. I mean, seriously. What a hot mess. So there she is there. That's her glam shot. And then we have her in uniform. What does the black and white mean for customs officers? Sometimes they wear in black and sometimes they wear white uniform. Is there a different level of thing, or is it just they get different uniforms? I'm kind of curious. Here she is with her white shirt and I guess probably black pants on. I guess they get different pieces for the uniform. So yeah, that's her. So, I mean, I wouldn't have thought it, but there you have it. Sad. And so the allegation is that she was even throwing her uniform in the garbage to try and hide the evidence and stuff like this. We're going to be watching this case very, very closely once this starts to move through the penal system. Pretty wild. Blissful British says, if you use a car to hit a person, isn't it considered attempted murder? Better yet, premeditated attempted murder. Wow, again, our laws are whack. I mean, attempted murder would include some degree of premeditation, so I don't think there's a separate offense of premeditated attempted murder. But yeah, it sounds crazy. Gabby says, Miss Sandy, once anybody see you coming, they're going to straighten up quick and fast. Best behavior. KY Forever says, OFC, she's finna be respectful to you. I mean, look at the power that you have. You think she's finna be nasty to you while working and her type of lifestyle. I bet if you go back, she'd be differently. Well, hopefully if I go back, I don't see her there because she needs to be put on leave while this matter is being dealt with. She can't be there working still. It's wild. Lady D says, what about the Jamaican man? Who is he married to? Please don't say Caymanian woman. Oh, like, who's Rasta married to? I don't even know. I have no clue. But apparently that's what set her off. Pablo Yarde says she was very professional and had good customer service, went above and beyond when my son's passport was left at the airport. And this is even sadder because, you know, sometimes we question some of these civil servants in terms of their behavior. Seems like she was a decent worker and doing her job. But then if your personal life is in such a mess that it just spills over and makes you do this kind of stuff. My God, it's so sad. That's just crazy. So yeah, they finally took her into custody. So the report says that she's been charged and remains in custody. That was the report 15 hours ago. Yeah, I know we posted that. And you know what's going to happen? She will go back to court soon and she'll probably get bail because most of the time, you know, you give them bail. If I take him to the hospital, what is this question? If I take him to the hospital, would it be attempted murder though? But she didn't. What is this? For something said you still ran him over, but she didn't take him to the hospital. So let me clarify what happened. She ran him over and left him there bleeding out. Someone else, I believe one of his co-workers or someone else is the one who took him to the hospital. So that's what happened. Who found him and then took him to the hospital. She didn't do that. And I think the fact that she actually left the man in that condition is next level crazy. This observer says she's probably sleeping with all of her friends. Nah, you and I would be charged for attempted murder as they are very selective. Child, they would have thrown me under the bus. Mm-hmm. It's a hot mess and then some. All we can say is Jesus, look over here. So K-Man has just gone out of control. So she got arrested on Wednesday. Okay, yep. Yep, that's why she was still at work on Saturday. What a mess. I feel sorry for the husband, sir. Try to go get yourself a divorce quick time. She can be charged with both attempted murder and ABH. If the greater charge cannot be proved, then the second charge applies. That's what I said. And unfortunately, you know, oh, by the way, someone makes a very valid point too about Jared. Although that is his wife, she would be responsible legally for his bills and other stuff. So he could technically sue her for the damages to his leg, which I mean, he looks like he's going to have quite, oh Lord, another complaint coming in about somebody at Yacht Club. Oh, geez, I'm peace. Good morning, Miss Sandy. I'm hanging a bag on the fence with some plantains. Oh, thank you. I have such good neighbors. Plantain season is here. Yay! Let me tell Miss Stacy. Plantains are on the fence, girl. Go get them. Nice. Love it. Can never have enough plantains, you know. Just trying to go through some of my messages. So yes, thank you so much, Ms. Brenda, and others I see also clarified that that Ms. Brenda's son, Ms. Dawn's son, my apologies, is actually a minor, so we don't want to mix him up in no story. So yes. What she said? What this person say? She's rocking a Cartier bracelet. What? Damn. Yep. Female Filipinos are Filipina and not Filipino. Yes, they have the, what's it called again? The masculine feminine thing going on. I didn't understand assault and battery to the degree you do until you explained it yesterday. Oh, good. I'm glad it helped. Her disrespect started once she got her papers, her Cayman papers. So apparently, I'm understanding that their relationship has been tumultuous because she seems to be one of those women that loves fighting and fussing and carrying on in a relationship. So the allegation is her last, they weren't married, but the guy that she was with is there in Banaka was, that was always a fighting and fussing, and he chasing her into the sea with machete and all kind of foolishness. So pretty wild and crazy. Anybody has Jared's number? Send me his number so that he can talk to some lawyers about what his actions are outside of the criminal case that he can take against her. Jared, you gave her that house, Bobo. You better take that house back. That's what I know. Mm-hmm. What a hot mess. All right. Just trying to get caught up in a few messages here. All right, TGIF. Yes, honey child. Let's read a few more messages and then we're going to wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us today. Good numbers today, too. Y'all didn't find the YouTube channel too well, but you went back to good old Facebook. You're like, I can find you on Facebook, honey child. So here's a few more comments that have come in on the CBC Michelle situation. So this person says, so I've been following this case closely because I saw her on the evening of February 28th, but she was out with the Rasta man. So a lot of information is really not making sense because where they were is a venue across from the office, not from Singh's Roti. The office or One Capital Place? Okay. There is another bar across the street from the office. Can't remember the name, but I too was there and she was there with the Rasta guy. They left early, probably 45 minutes before the venue closed, and they walked out together and she was not in CBC uniform. What a hot mess. Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. We're going to get the details from court. We're going to be there and report direct and live. So we're going to have to get to the bottom of that. Mm-hmm. All right. Give me 1 second. Another interesting message coming in. Hold on, honey child. One pilot mix-up story with this one. Okay. So here's another one here. This person says, Sandy, rumor has it that Michelle is very much protected at CBC. Rumor also has it that she's in a relationship with one of the deputy directors there. Not sure how true it is, but that's the rumor going around for a while. Did she have Cayman status or PR when she was hired? Yeah, she's married to Caymanian. So remember now, because of Jared, she's gotten status. And sources familiar with the tumultuous relationship that they're in have said that her situation and the abuse that he was sustaining has gotten worse since she got her papers. Now, let me tell y'all something. Don't make nobody abuse you and flex on you. They could be treating you like a queen until they get that status, that little piece of paper. And if they flip the switch, then guess what? There's the door. Don't tolerate it. That's not love if you did that to someone. Definitely not. Oh God, that definitely not love. Y'all be confusing love with all kind of foolishness. The BBL bar? Which bar is this? So I need to figure out which bar this was. Is it by One Capitol Place or is it further up the street across from McDonald's? I'm going to go by there and take a picture. So make sure y'all tell me which bar it is now so I can get it straight. So is she having something with a deputy director? I don't know. I know that some of those deputy directors at CBC, this is what I'm telling y'all, some of them not straight. They, again, male whores, they would screw down anything, including the door attached to CBC. So they need to do better because I do hear a lot of stories about them. Why y'all got to mess up with your, again, this goes back to the whole Cayman Airways subordinate thing. Don't do it at work. It causes all kind of favoritism and problems. It's right across from the office. I go and check it out today then. When does she return to court, Alfredo? I'll try to get that information. Auntie, is that Jared that used to work at A.L. Thompson's? I don't know. I saw the picture. He doesn't look familiar. And, I think that we don't need to hyper focus on him because he's not the reason why she's having these problems. Just that he's tolerating it. And I suppose that that's a problem. So sad. All right, let me just see here now. It all comes back to violence and what is it that you are willing to tolerate. And if there's one takeaway from this, if you're in a tumultuous relationship, normally these things only escalate and get worse. And so I would really encourage you to not stay in these types of relationships because it doesn't end well. These people are going to run you over. They're going to stab you up. They're going to beat you up. They're going to do the most to you. And I mean, poor Jared, look at his leg. That thing is going to be messed up for life. So, dude, get out. There were clear signs before that, she obviously has violent tendencies. Do not stay in relationships like this. Oh no, Chuck Norris died. Oh man. He was one of my heroes. I love me a Chuck Norris, honey child. 86 years old. Chuck Norris has passed away. Oh, he's like the OG when it comes to like action flicks and stuff. Martial arts, black belt, kick your butt on the big screen. Aw, poor Chuck. Really enjoyed him. Yes. All right. What a hot mess. Just checking some of the news feeds and stuff this morning. Oh, I'm so sad to hear about Chuck. He lived a good life, though. I think he, you never heard any controversy about him. He wasn't in the news for beating up nobody and whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right, good folks. Very good. Oh, by the way, we like to back up what we say here on this program. So remember what we're saying about the brother, and my CBC sources claim that they couldn't verify it. They couldn't verify his conviction. Well, maybe I'll need some better investigators. But here's the case number: People of the Philippines versus Daryl Tungson Guevara, accused applicant Maverick Saro Pena, accused CA Station Manila, status submitted for completion. So let's CMR help y'all out a little bit. Yeah, I don't really want to show a picture of Jared because he's truly the victim here, KY forever. And I don't believe that Jared has done anything whatsoever to deserve what has happened to him. So in all honesty, victims deserve, unless he comes out himself. I mean, if Jared comes out and says, he wants to be interviewed or part of this or whatever. Otherwise, he deserves his privacy. Oh, that's what Chuck Norris looked like at 86. Damn, I hadn't seen him in a hot minute. Still had them little guns, though. Yes, sir. Mess with you, Chuck. Mm-hmm. Clearly was still working out. He posted on his page back in 17 weeks ago, said, here's a photo I took several months ago. Progress isn't measured by perfection, but by the courage to keep going. I'm still setting goals, pushing forward, and choosing discipline over comfort. No matter your age, keep striving for the best version of yourself. Aw, poor Ting. Oh my gosh. Well, nobody gets out alive, honey child. Nobody gets out alive. All right. We'll post a little thing here, a little rest in peace for Chuck. He was one of the good guys. One of the good guys. Mm-hmm. So he was living in Hawaii, I guess, and he had a medical emergency and didn't make it. I guess probably just a heart attack, Poor thing. All right, beautiful folks. Send that information to immigration, copy to the minister. They claim they couldn't find it, Miss Brenda. Now, do we actually believe that they're going to do anything about it? These people are still here working in this country. I'm going to tell you the truth. There's a reason why people don't always go through these official sources of sending stuff, because they're we're wasting our time. We put in letters on people. The system not going to do nothing about it. We're wasting our time. That's why they rather just send it to me. And then when it blows up on social media, then they can find them and deport them behind. Same thing with that other Filipina lady. What was the one that they finally, what was her name? Mary Jean, and her daughter here going in her same footsteps. She's another one running all kind of scams and stuff on people, stealing from people, scamming her people out of money, this, that, and the next thing. It's just ridiculous. And for years she was doing that and sat here and was protected. Ridiculous. Well, Johan say, I pray for Don Marlon if you ever crash out. Well, I bet you he better fly straight. That's all I can say. Ms. Brenda says, I don't think Jared will want to talk about this. Not if he wasn't willing to give her up in the beginning. I mean, maybe he's coming around, Ms. Brenda, because, this whole Stockholm syndrome is a real thing, right? So the less time he's staying away from her, him saying that she actually doesn't really care about him, her behavior didn't change after he got ran over. And it wasn't her that was there, despite taking time off of work. Hear this now. She took time off of work, compassionate leave at work, with CBC telling her husband had an accident, fell down the stairs, or some story she made up. And took time off for that alone, she should be fired. Took time off of work to take care of him, and she wasn't taking care of him. She was out in the streets doing whatever. So that's messed up. So I'm sure listen, this girl been playing mind games on this man. He my God. Poor him. I feel sorry for him. Anyway, folks, thank you guys so very, very much. Okay. You still on air? Call me. Okay. Soon call. It's where Kay's Fabric and China Village used to be, building next door to Elizabethan Square. Okay. Let me go look it up. Maybe Energy Lounge. I don't know these bars, you know. I need to go figure it out because I don't know. All right, let me continue my investigations, honey child. Old home gas truck parked in a blue spot. I'm sending it right to home gas right this minute. Sending it right to John right now. I got John on speed dial. John, look at how your staff embarrassing your company. Parking in a blue spot. Deal with them. It's where Kay's Fabric used to be. What a hot mess. The house, she doesn't deserve a husband like Jared. But Sandy, the house is on his family land. That don't mean that she not taking it. Huh? Lord have mercy. All right. Yes, sir. It's called Carib Cafe. Y'all know the name of these bars. I couldn't even tell you what's there. Sandy, it's not only Honduran woman. How you spelling Honduran? Honduran beating up their husband, Jamaican, doing it too. Well, look here. We're not talking about the Jamaicans today. We're talking about a very specific case. I didn't say it was only Honduran, and it's not Honduran, really, it's Honduran. But Caymanians love to say Honduran because y'all love to not pronounce things properly. But I never said that it was only them doing it. At what point did I ever say that? I never said that. These people are equal opportunity. All sorts of nationalities doing it. But what I do know is who we are featuring today happens to be from Banaka. That's what I can tell you. Okay? I never said they're the only ones doing it. Damien said Cubans too. All of them doing it. Cubanian? That what y'all call Cubans? Lord have mercy. All right. Beautiful week. Oh, God, we're going to get up and do more squats. But anyway, I'm out of here. It's Friday. I got to run. I got work to do. Y'all have a blessed day. This is her mama. This is the one who messaged me. Oh, someone sent me a message about her. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. This is what the person said about the mother now. Why she thinks I should be scared of her. I forgot to put up this message. Hold on, honey. Coming straight through. So this commenter apparently must know her mama and said the following. Hold it. Dun, dun. Good morning, Auntie. From where Michelle from, her husband afraid of her because Helen is a big obia woman. The current husband, she deleted all of her pics where she always posts smoking puros, but that's why the poor man fool. And Michelle is a real whore, yes, having her husband, she be out with other men. Well, I mean, typically that's the definition of a whore, but I'm just saying, I guess y'all soon start calling them saints. I don't know. Anthony says Banaka or a bad actor. So, she fancies herself to be an obia woman. Poor thing. So she can obia me. Oh, God. Girl, your obia not working because I'm over here winning. Every day of the fucking week, I am winning. If my life got any better, I wouldn't know what to do. So if that's obia, then please continue to obia me. Y'all so dumb. When I say y'all, I mean Helen, you so dumb. Oh, so that's what you say you can get me again? What is the obia supposed to be though? Y'all see me using this Burke's Bees lip shimmer? So what is the obia that you're supposedly putting on me? Girl, try and do some more. Praise the Lord. Because that obia give me good luck. What? Yes, sir. I'm here for it. I am here for it. More obia, please. I need to slap her with my little song now. Hold on. This is a good note to end the song, end the week on. Hold on. Where's my little baby? My little baby dancing. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Let me find my video. And my little AI guy, what his name is again? Oh man, hold on. Gotta find him. Let me find my good little videos. Oh man, I have so many videos on here. Oh, so my guy, okay, we gotta do kick them rocks. Let's do one. Our little keen guy.
And kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down, I was born to rise. So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk.
Woo! Kick those rocks, honey child. I feel like we need to listen to that one more time. Will you indulge me one more time? Because I love him. I know he's supposed to be, well, he's lip syncing, but the artist is supposed to be AI. And he got a couple songs that I love. We got rock it out here today. This is how we're gonna end the show. And then I gotta get the little baby. Hold on. She is so cute. Hold on. Let me get her next. Oh yeah. All right, we can end the show good today. I gotta play Kick Those Rocks one more time. Miss Helen, kick those rocks, child. Your obia not working. If it working, it doing the opposite of what you trying to do.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down, I was born to rise. So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk.
Hello, I gotta keep on talking, honey chill. Keep up your little stupid obia. Here's one more for you.
I don't care if they talk shit. I don't talk to hypocrites. If you hate me, that's just fine. Go on down and get in line. They try to tell me what I need, and it sure ain't nothing good for me. Don't care what they say, it's all just talk. Gonna head my way and walk my walk. They try to bend me, but I won't break.
That's my anthem for the DPP's office. They trying to bend me, but I ain't breaking, honey child. Case number 10, number 9, number 20. Let me play it one more time. I'm dedicating this song to the DPP's office. This is for you. Ready? All right.
I don't care if they talk shit. I don't talk to hypocrites. If you hate me, that's just fine. Go on down and get in line. They try to tell me what I need, and it sure ain't nothing good for me. Don't care what they say, it's all just talk. Gonna head my way and walk my walk. They try to bend me, but I won't break.
That's right, honey child. We not breaking. One more.
You don't like me?
Yeah.
Then hit the road.
Hit the road.
I stand my ground.
Oh yeah.
All on my own.
Hey.
I won't change up. Just to make folks stay. And if you're real, you wouldn't walk away.
Oh my God, he is so fine. Oh my gosh. And final video of the day. Miss Lucy told me I must go eat my plantain. Final video of the day. Miss Helen, this is for you and your so-called obia self. You ready? Here we go, honey child. This for you. Special song just for you.
Don't
play with me.
God on my side, you can't
Don't play with me, girl.
Pray on me. Devil tried, but he can't take from me. Take from me. I'm too covered. You can't aim at me. Boy, don't play with.
Don't play with me, girl. Don't play with me.
Don't play with me. God on my side, you can't pray on me. Pray on me. Devil try, but he can't take from me. Take from me. I'm too covered. You can't aim at me. Aim at me. Boy, don't play with.
All right. No amount of obeah in the world gonna work, honey child. I'm too blessed to be stressed. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Go do 24 more squats. I'm up. I'm gonna do a few more. And you guys have a beautiful day. Work permit applications. Don't worry. We on them. Hallelujah. I love it. Don't you love those songs, Miss Brenda? You can take a seat. Yep. We not business with none of them. So I'm going to play those again because I can sit here and listen to these songs all day long. They're just amazing. Have a fantastic weekend, folks. Be blessed, not stressed. Don't worry about people and their stupid obeah. They can't do nothing to you once you are covered. Hallelujah.
Kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down, I was born to rise. So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. I don't care if they talk shit. I don't talk to hypocrites. If you hate me, that's just fine. Go on down and get in line. They try to tell me what I need, and it sure ain't nothing good for me. Don't care what they say, it's all just talk. Gonna head my way and walk my walk. They try to bend me, but I won't break. If you don't like me, then hit the road. I stand my ground all on my own. I won't change up just to make folks stay. And if you're real, you wouldn't walk away.
Don't play with me. God on my side, you can't play on me. Play on me. Devil try, but he can't take from me. Take from me. I'm too covered. You can't aim at me. Aim at me. Boy, don't play with.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.